Today's show is brought to you in part by Squarespace. Do you need a portfolio to showcase your work? How about a store to sell your product and/or services? How about a blog to share your ideas, however dangerous they may be? Squarespace gives you everything you need to make your next move into a reality, including a free domain. Not to mention, with their beautifully designed templates and customizable features, creating a beautiful website is a simple and intuitive process. Just add and arrange your content with a click of a mouse. Start your free trial today at squarespace.com and enter the offer code Bombcast to get 10% off your first purchase.
Hey, hi, it is May the 2nd, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, I got those out of order.
May the 2nd be with you.
This is a giant train wreck already. It's a giant Bombcast. It's 2017.
Yeah, May the 2017th be with you. Like they say.
It's my favorite branded day.
It's going to be 2017. Did you see that picture?
Yep, uh-huh. I love Justin Timberlake.
JT.
Uh-huh. He's so fly.
I know. Yeah, right?
Right? Such a snappy dresser. Jeff and Jason.
Hello, hi.
It's a momentous day.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Here in the podcast studio.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
A new challenger has entered the tournament.
Ding, 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 ding.
Hey guys. Hi.
What up, Ben Pack?
Hey.
How you doing?
That was just a joke. I'm not nervous at all.
No?
That was just a little fun way to start out the show.
Are you nervous?
Oh, you get
Jokes.
I already fucked up the intro completely.
Yeah, no, so there's
really
nowhere to go
but up from here.
So
Well, great.
Thank you, Brad. I'm glad we
Yes.
discussed beforehand that I
Yes.
could pay you off to
Yeah,
make it a little bit easier for me
I
to
took the
come in.
bullet.
This is a pretty common podcasting thing where it's basically the equivalent of that bit where Adam Sandler pees his pants on purpose in that movie.
Yeah.
Where the kid pees his pants.
So am I the David Spade to Brad's Adam Sandler?
I mean, that remains to be seen. I'm just going to say yes.
That was my hope.
But
When
yeah.
we brought you in.
Right.
That's when through the whole interview process, it was like, we just
We're
need,
looking for a David
we need a
Spade.
Spade
we need
type.
we need our David Spade.
But not David Spade, just a Spade
No.
type.
Yes.
David Spade interviewed, but it was just like,
Yeah, he didn't have much
just
going
not
on.
really.
Yeah.
Just didn't have the knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Ben. I'm
Hi, Ben.
20-something years old. I got nervous about saying my age.
Yeah.
Don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. I for those of you who don't know, I was at one time an intern here.
Okay. Oh, right. All right.
Yeah, I was
okay.
the tall
that was
one.
you?
Remember that guy?
Yep.
The,
okay.
Well,
Yeah.
not the tall one who sounded like Brad, but the other tall one.
Wait, who?
Okay.
We had another tall intern?
Daniel. He was-
Right.
He was
Yeah.
pretty tall.
Did he sound like me? I
Some
guess he
pe-
kind of did.
Some people said he had a draw.
Yeah, okay.
He was
sure.
tall and he was vaguely Southern.
Was he Southern? I think he was Southern, actually.
Yeah.
So was Nick.
Yes.
Like, we
I remember you guys
had
talking about cheerwine a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just
Talk
like,
about-
that sounds bad.
Talk about cheer wine any chance I get.
No, someone sent us some cheer wine at some point over the years. Like,
Yeah.
and it's not. I never thought it was good.
It's not bad.
It reminded me of Dr. Pepper, which I also don't like. So
I run hot and cold on Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
I used to drink a lot more Diet Dr. Pepper than I do right now. And now I'll get one like every couple of months and be like, oh yeah, let's change it up. Diet Dr. Pepper, motherfucker. And I'll drink it and go like, this is rotten. This is killing me.
I recently made the shocking discovery that Dr. Pepper is not the most caffeinated soda.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from Jolt, like, obviously.
what's the most caffeinated? Is it
I don't
Dew?
know if it's the most, but Mountain Dew has, like, way more. Like,
That's-
I always.
mean, it's what gamers crave.
Obviously, that's the gamer fuel.
That's right.
Yeah, I would always go for Dr. Pepper when I had it was like, I need to get this game done, or I need to stay up, I need to not fall asleep at 10 o'clock so I can try to finish Mass Effect or whatever. Like, I would always go get Dr. Pepper.
But it would give you
never-
that kick, right?
Could have been doing the Dew.
Did
time.
it work out? Did the Dr. Pepper work for you?
Still worked all right.
And that's because I would
Even though
think
it wasn't the most caffeinated, it still
It
works.
was
for you,
apparently caffeinated enough.
huh? Okay. Just
I would think that if you are like reaching for a drink specifically because you are trying to stay awake, there's way harder stuff.
Oh no!
you
I
can
mean,
get into.
I'd get Red Bull if I really
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah.
go all night
Oh yeah.
or something.
I got a
their
friend.
slogan.
I got a friend who can keep you up all night.
Oh yeah.
His name's X-Pac.
Oh what?
Yeah,
Man,
he's out on bail. He's got what you need.
Yeah.
He'll set you
He's
up.
got the
I
hook
was
up.
really hoping you wouldn't bring up X-Pac.
It's
We were
soon.
talking
It's
about
really
X-Pac.
soon.
Originally he
Really
was the
too
1,
soon.
2, 3 kid, and then when he went to WCW, they called him 6 because 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6.
Get
Also,
it?
I think he was the 6th member of the NWO.
Wow, that's really clever.
And then at some point they started calling him 6-Pac because 2-Pac was very popular, and NWO for all their weird biker
Yeah,
shit.
no, I figured.
Like hip hop was very popular, so they
figured.
they would holler if you. I don't know. There's a whole
Yeah.
thing, and then at some point, then he became X-Pac when he went back over.
Did they ever was his finishing move the X-Pocalypse?
It was the X Factor. Yeah.
I like mine better.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
bad.
X-Pocalypse. I mean, maybe that would be like, you know,
not
like if maybe he needs a second finisher.
Sure,
It'd
yeah,
be like,
for, like,
hey,
the
if the
cage
X
match.
Factor's not doing it,
Yeah.
then the X-Pocalypse is gonna.
If that guy made his name at a time when Tupac Shakur was still alive, he must just be an old ass man now.
He's 44.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, when he started, he was very young.
Okay.
They called him Kid.
Why was he in the stir?
How many old ass men holding meth do you know?
Why? Because he tried to clear customs with weed and meth in his things.
okay.
Which is apparently against the law.
Yeah.
Since when?
Yeah.
Yeah, weed I could see a slap on the wrist maybe, but not
Yeah, that's like,
meth in the airport.
whoops, I left this meth in my
That
bag.
seems like a bad thing.
It's a friend. I'm holding it for.
I'm holding
a
it for my friend, Crystal.
Walter White.
He made this for me.
yeah.
I mean, for someone. I'm a wrestler. Did you ever see the wrestler of the movie? I'm like that.
How did they even apprehend him? I mean, his pure physical strength.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, I
Combined
would
with the
have
meth,
thought. I
like,
would have thought
which
that.
should
Yeah.
make him-
Well, I was reading TMZ, my go-to news source for
much.
all wrestling.
For your
news.
podcast
Yeah,
news.
pre-podcast, read TMZ, see what's going on in the real world. And they popped him on that stuff, and also discovered that he had a warrant out for a DUI.
Nice.
So
Nice.
They nailed him.
Okay. How long did he go down for?
He's already out on bail.
Oh, good.
This just happened.
This is today.
And he'll be here in.
Yeah, no, it's
He's running a little late, but we keeping a chair warm.
I hope he got his bag back, because if he's gonna show up without his bag, I don't know that we want him here at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to hang out with that guy longer than you have to. Kind of show up, get what you need, and go.
That's right.
Show up. He's like, "Hey, you guys playing Darksiders?"
He desperately wants you to hang out and play Xbox
Yeah,
with him, but
no, he wants to play X-Pac with him, where you both pretend to be X-Pac.
He's way better at it.
He's
than
way
most
better at it.
people.
Anyway, we wish him the best. Drugs are no
yes,
joke.
yeah.
Don't do them.
Drugs,
Yeah.
guys, drugs aren't good.
Guys,
Nor is
turn this chair
incarceration.
around. Here, hang on. Just turn this chair around.
Yep.
Get
Yeah.
kids.
Public service announcement.
Now look,
After school.
I'm here to
special.
tell you, you don't want to do the drugs. Look here. I've lived a life. Don't do what I did.
We all experiment.
Hey,
but
look, fun is fun, but sometimes the fun stops. And where do you go when the fun stops?
Jail.
Jail, exactly. And then the fun gets. I can't sit on this chair backwards anymore. It's actually physically fucking killing me. Don't do drugs.
These chairs
don't do
not
drugs. You'll sit in a chair back.
No,
No,
little
yeah.
star with a rainbow.
Yeah,
across.
that's the whole thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Some.
So that's it about me.
Yeah. Some.
Yeah,
would-
like since we last saw you, you cooked a bunch of meth. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Cooked a bunch of
Had some
meth.
adventures.
Helped me lose a lot of weight. Thank
Yeah.
you, meth.
Okay, yeah.
But don't do it.
And this is
Once you
also,
wanna
I
lose
mean,
weight.
also on the story that went up on the side, it said your house caught on fire, which I can only assume is a lab fire.
Oh yeah, no, it was definitely like.
Yeah, are you homeless?
You guys aren't releasing this, right? Because
No, definitely
this
not. No, this is just a
this is
test
just a practice.
podcast.
This is
Like,
the
hey,
interview.
get
This is-
used to it.
This is actually your interview.
Oh,
We're-
cool.
we're
So all that
making sure
paperwork,
this is-
the 11
Yeah.
PDFs and stuff that I had to sign are all just.
the Les Moonves video, all that stuff. That's just that's all for
What
show.
about my CBSI all access
You
I get
still
to
you
keep
can still
that?
get the discount.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
for 30 days.
for 30 days?
Yeah.
Wait, is it actually only 30 days?
I have no idea.
don't know.
Man,
You're telling me you don't watch your CBS all access, guys? It's actually they've got good stuff.
Both MacGyvers or just
They've
one?
got both MacGyvers.
Okay, I'm in.
I actually just signed up for that recently, and I went on there, and they only have season 1 of 90210. So
Oh, well set.
I
They actually
deleted the app
there's,
immediately.
There's some shows I'm going to check out. So
Yep.
thank you, CBSI.
America's Most Watched Network. Some would say that you were the king turn at Whiskey Media.
Certainly, Matt Kessler has said that now. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, I still keep in touch with a lot of the old interns. I see Nick and Matt regularly. I basically, a really brief summary of the timeline between then and now. Graduated, got my journalism degree, which I am now putting to use.
Use.
Yeah, of course. Video games, the most use.
Worked at a couple startups, did some video stuff for Destructoid, Revision 3, had open heart surgery.
Whoa.
My house burned down.
Oh, man.
And now I'm here.
Life experience.
So
And that's just last week.
yeah, that was
Holy cow.
the house situation. Yeah, I found out the day that I got this job. So house burned down at 1:30 a.m.
Okay.
And then I was taking care of some errands, and got the call like, hey, you got the giant bomb job.
So did that day end up feeling like a break even then? It's
Yeah,
like,
it
well, I
was-
lost my house and all my belongings, but I got a job, so it's cool.
I was talking to Nick Robinson about it, and he was like, how does it feel to know that you're never going to have a weirder day in your life?
That's look.
know,
Don't
And I was
don't
like,
count on that.
I would not make such
hopefully
assumptions.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you back in the unit?
No. Well, so
Was it
unit
that badly damaged, or like
it's condemned for a year
fully
and a half,
done? Oh, wow.
at least.
So what do you do?
So we actually just moved into a place in the East Bay.
Okay.
It's nice. It's a little 1-bedroom
Mm-hmm.
near BART, and so we actually found it really quickly. We found it in the first day that we were looking for places.
Oh,
They
wow.
contacted us pretty
wow.
much right away. We spent 10 hours looking for places in
Wow.
a day, but because we were staying with a friend's Airbnb in the city while we were looking, which actually gave me some time to like play games and relax, and not having a house or a job to worry about gave me a lot of time to just kind of reflect and catch up on games. And it was actually a nice little vacation. Once I knew I had somewhere to live.
Sure.
Once I wasn't homeless, it was a nice
It was
little
okay. I
vacation.
will have a job in a few weeks, and we're not going to be on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Man, it is a rotten time to try to find another place in San Francisco if you get forced out of your place right
Yes,
now.
it is.
If you're not grandfathered into a decent deal
Yeah.
in this city, like you're not.
I mean,
it's not looking good.
we kind of wanted to move. We talked about getting our own place, and it's just like, yeah, it'd be nice, but I don't think we're ready. Let's kind of casually look on the side. If we find something perfect, we'll move. And then
Fate forced your hand.
a guy burned our house down
Yeah.
and is now hiding in Golden Gate Park. So if you find
Wait.
Tom, let me know.
Is he wanted?
I don't know.
Okay. Is the law out there looking for him?
I don't know, cause like I don't know.
Okay. Maybe.
I actually admitted I don't know.
This is all like third-hand information
the less
from my
said about
roommate
Tom,
talking
the
to a
better.
landlord.
Okay, so
Okay.
allegedly Tom burned your house
Allegedly.
down, let's
Okay.
say, because we don't know Tom. Who's Tom?
I mean, he did directly tell me that he burned the place down, so that's all I have to go off.
All right.
All right.
An eyewitness.
Okay.
That sounds pretty firsthand to me.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in becoming an accomplice after the fact, so
No.
let's maybe leave all this behind.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. All right.
All right,
Wow. We got
welcome
touchy
to
stuff.
the Giant Bombcast.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What's up, Jason? How you
Hey,
doing?
I'm twitchy apparently
Yeah.
today. I clicked something I shouldn't have.
I saw a scary face right before the show started down there, and I was like, oh, something.
That was getting his game
Yeah.
face on.
I was getting ready. He was like, oh God, please.
He goes zen for a couple of seconds, and then lion face, and then it's
Yep.
then it's out here.
attacking. Rawr.
It's a really intimidating setup Jason has going. It's just like
There's a lot-
surrounded by cameras and
There's a lot
microphones
going
and
on.
screens. It's-
Yeah, and all these arms. I'm sick of these arms, man, because I can't keep anything straight on here, and everything drifts.
So we just like go
People
full
in chat are like, "Hey, can you maybe straighten the sound things behind Brad?" And I'm like, "Dude, they're straight. just
best you're gonna get.
We're trying to go for like a black flag thing back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. But otherwise, yeah,
It's very dystopian in here.
things are super good.
This is sound science. This one has to be higher than this one, otherwise the
Yeah.
bounce is all wrong,
Yeah.
and then it's like
we had a paid professional. Well, we didn't pay him, but he was.
he has been
some
paid.
people
He
might
has
pay
been
him.
paid.
Hopefully he has
People
been
that
paid.
paid him to lend his expertise, and he came in the room and he's like, "Dude, this is great."
Yeah.
He did some sound measurements and stuff. So
Ooh,
we got lucky.
don't even know what that means,
Yeah.
but it sounds good.
sound
Comes in with a
measurements.
sonic ruler and just sets it up and just goes like, "Yeah, this is good."
He uses a
Acoustic engineer.
little ruler and he just yells at the end of it and it
Yeah.
sprays out.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
Spray
okay.
sound around the room.
Steven, who does the editing for the Giant Bomb Gaming Minute,
Yeah.
is a veteran of radio, and he thinks this studio is pretty good, and he's been in a lot of studios.
Sweet.
So
We did all right.
That's-
we did all right. I think with our limited space here, we got a brand new light. I mean, this is great for audio, but
yeah, right.
we got a big police siren, like red lights.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking awesome.
If you're
Yeah.
listening, just imagine a really cool light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be our on-air recording light.
Yeah, that'll be sit outside the studio and say like, "Hey, maybe don't come in here.
Don't come in here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe don't."
And then at some point, we should probably decorate. What do you think?
Ooh.
Yeah, I think so. That's yeah. I mean, that was originally the idea was we were going to hang Luchadeer behind Brad, but now
then Luchadeer would be like hanging over Brad's head.
Yeah,
all
and maybe not
creepily.
safe. Also, would have to hang it so high for people to walk around
it
him.
makes it impossible for people to get around the
What
table.
if we just kind of have it suspended in
Right.
the middle of the
Oh,
table?
yeah, maybe
Head
that would work.
down.
Because it
Drop down during breaks.
Because Luchadeer would not
With
be in
the
the
police
shot
light?
if we put it where we needed to put it. So at some point, it's like it's decorating for no one. It's decorating for us. We look at it and go, ha ha, yeah.
Yep.
Shelby got that, and then that'd be it. So yeah,
at some point.
we should decorate.
But yeah, big bold
We got this
steps.
sweet sign.
We got
with
the sweet
something.
sign. Yeah,
If you're
that's
watching the
cool
video,
sign.
I don't know.
Sign is cool.
Sweet sign.
it's held
Or
up
just
with
go
our-
look at the thumbnail for the video podcast, and you can still
yeah.
see the sign in that most weeks.
I saw
every
the
time.
sign.
Yeah.
Did you?
What did it do for you?
I know. I don't.
I mean,
Okay, all
I
right.
did.
I don't know.
It
I don't
opened up
know,
my
Jeff.
eyes.
All right, fine.
Are you happy?
Yeah. Well, don't turn around.
Oh.
Because you're going to see my heart break.
Oh. Things are looking up here at Giant Bomb.
I'm
excited.
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm excited that Ben's here.
Oh, joke.
Yeah, nice.
No, see, I didn't even go there.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't.
See, the nice
wouldn't.
thing is
'Cause
that
I've
like,
been there.
so I've got this problem where where I automatically think of people who are taller than I am, which I'm like 6'2.5" or whatever it is, 6'2"-ish, and so I don't encounter that many people that are taller than I am. But when I do, I assign this respect to them. And I'm hoping that this relationship will finally iron that out.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, here's a taller guy.
you could disrespect-
zero
yeah,
respect for this guy. What a monster. So
My time as an intern wasn't enough to really seal the deal 100%.
Exactly.
I only messed up your sandwich order a couple times. So
we had to put Perry on sandwich duty because Perry knew what he was doing. Perry's a goddamn professional. That's why he
Yes.
works at a newspaper right
Yeah,
now
no.
and not in this fucked up video game business.
Perry got
like
shit
the rest
done.
of you fuckers.
Yeah.
I had to hit up Will Carl this morning
Yeah.
to ask him how tall he is.
Oh yeah, that's
Of
yeah.
course.
We're gonna have to have a tall off.
It's
at some
going
point.
around.
The tallness is going
Will,
around.
Will in
huh?
engineering.
Yeah.
The
infected.
tallness is contagious.
Yes, maybe. Ooh.
Yeah, I was talking to David, and he was mad that I couldn't dunk, and he suggested a video series where we just teach me to dunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Who would be the one to teach that?
Me,
Will.
I can do that.
Yeah.
That's
Jeff can dunk?
Yeah, slamma jamma.
Will said he's got big ups, so maybe.
I own my own
Alright.
NBA Jam machine. I have a basketball.
Yeah.
I think I have a basketball somewhere.
you
We bought NBA baller beats and I took it home, so I probably have a basketball somewhere.
Are you capable of becoming on fire?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually
Sounds like a
depends how
video
strong the
series.
defense is.
Yeah. It's a video series in the making.
I caught on fire at that party at James Milky's
Oh, right,
house.
that's right. Yes.
I was cleaning out my out my garage over the weekend and going through bags and bags of clothes. And I thought that most of it was like video game shirts. And sure enough, there was one that was the logo for Jackass and it said Jackass, but it said the game below it. So
Did they make a game?
they did. Yeah, there was like a
they? Did it
PSP,
actually come out?
PS2 game.
Ooh.
That
Was
yeah,
it like Tony Hawk, but for pranks?
yeah, but like way worse than that. Like that sounds like, oh, maybe this would actually be okay. But then they eventually just turned Tony Hawk into Tony Hawk for pranks.
Yeah. We
and-
need to talk to the Impractical Jokesters.
Yeah,
Is that what they're called?
Yeah,
Those guys?
get the IJ folks out
Yeah.
here, get it set up.
Get them hooked up with some studio.
Yeah, and anyway, in there was the shirt I was wearing when I caught on
Oh, you
fire.
kept it?
I kept it.
Why?
I don't
How
know.
badly damaged was it?
It was so I backed into a candle and it was like a polyester shirt, so
Okay.
it went up pretty quick. So there was just a huge chunk of the back. It was like a fake prison shirt. It was like an orange shirt that had like work release, just like because it was a long time ago. And I'm a fucking idiot.
It was before you knew the hardships of X-Pac.
Exactly. Yeah, learning that like, hey, jail is no joke. You gotta bail yourself out, wrestlers. And so yeah, I kept it for some dumb reason. Anyway, I got rid of a bunch of clothing.
Did you toss that shirt?
Donated it. Yeah, I donated that, which probably like it's still wearable.
Okay.
I also bought a
Some mild
replacement.
flame
Not even a
damage.
prisoner would wear that.
After that shirt caught on fire, I went and bought another one just like
Nice.
it, proving that I learned nothing from the experience.
Well, now that
So I donated that one as
I
well.
was gonna say you should put that back in the rotation.
Well, it was like a good before and after. If you get them both,
Okay.
then you're like,
All right.
I burned up. Oh wait, no, I didn't. Like,
Just
it's,
kidding.
think all the fun jokes you could
put the good one on underneath the bad one. And
Uh-huh.
it's like, yep, that's a fun joke.
Yeah, my bootleg Prada shirt gone. Donated.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Getting rid of clothes is fun.
Oh, it was
Feels
great.
good.
Yeah,
Feels good.
because I was looking for my Neo Geo Pocket Color collection, which I couldn't find.
Keep that and the clothes in the same place.
I mean, in the same garage,
okay.
technically. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you pack away your Jackass shirt, and then your Neo Geo shirt, and then your burn shirt. Those are three things that go great together.
Yeah. And I kept the Neo Geo shirt and got rid of the other two. I kept all the video game shirts because I figured someone might want those at some point.
I must have donated like several dozen video game swag T-shirts from the last 15 years.
Yeah,
and then
they used to just show up all the time.
Yeah, and then like immediately after that is when like Cifaldi and Steve Lynn's stuff started getting off the ground.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit,
Well,
I should have just given all those shirts to those guys.
I don't know that they're in a position right now to take a ton of that sort of stuff with what they're doing. Like it's a lot of it right now. Like if you see what the Video Game History Foundation's been doing, it's Frank has been like they've been scanning a lot of press material or like looking at zip disks that are like, here's the original art used for this EGM cover without all the EGM graphics on it.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Or they found like here's the original screenshots of Ocarina of Time that Nintendo put out well before the game was finished.
Do they make all that stuff freely available?
Yeah.
Like anybody can download it?
I think a lot of that stuff is going up on like Flickr or archive.org or whatever. You can go, you'd have to Google Video Game History Foundation to find their site, but they've been putting up blog posts and doing stuff. But they're primarily focused on that right now as opposed to
How many bullet
your
storm shirts do they
fucking
need?
T-shirts.
I've got like 5 at home. I could give them a few bullet storms. Like there's variants, you know. Like one has a boot on it, one has like a big chain.
When
Are those tall tees?
yeah.
No,
you thinking about some?
I mean, I donated half of my clothes to a fire. So
Oh, that's true. Okay, I might be able to hook you up.
So Steve Lynn was at my home not that long ago, and I gave him a few things here and there, but I threatened him. I said like, hey, I've got a duffel bag full of duffel bags, and they all have video game logos on them. So it's just like this. It's this NFL Extreme 2 duffel bag, and inside it is like 20 more bags, each of which has another progressively dumber video game logo on it.
Duffel bags also used to be pretty big.
Yeah.
Wow. Why?
Because because everyone had a marketing budget and they thought that was going to be the right way to spend it, was to like, oh well, if
People
they're
carry
going
things.
to carry this bag around for months and think about our awesome game, and like I don't really know what the idea was, but just everyone did it, and so a lot of that shit just showed up, and like it always felt wrong to just throw it away. Because it was like, oh, this is like a functional thing. Like, what if I need a duffel bag? And I never will. So now I have a duffel bag full of duffel bags.
That's how it happens.
Yeah, that is how it happens. You get to a point where you have too much space in your life, and you just fill it full of
Duffel bags.
I do it with backpacks, and
Yeah.
I'm actually being legit. Like I have a thing for bags.
Yeah. You've
Like,
been on a backpack.
We actually,
messenger
it was something of a
bags.
rarity. We got a backpack in the mail not that long ago for
2 of them.
so
Like
an upcoming,
sniper something?
So the
Sniper
other
Elite.
sniper game.
I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna
And you were like, you were all over it. You were like, oh,
I was checking out the zippers and stuff. I'm like, okay, all right, this could work. I put this here. I have a fucking thing for him. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I like some backpacks.
Yeah.
Backpacks are cool.
I stopped using video game themed luggage or backpacks or anything when I flew to DICE one year and my luggage got stolen and it was a PlayStation branded bag. It also
thought there
had,
was an Xbox in it.
well, yeah, no, it had my PSP with an unreleased copy of a Ratchet and Clank PSP game in it. So I was like, fuck, man, if the right person took that, this is going to go real fucking bad. This review copy of this game that's not out yet.
I don't know that you could be held accountable for that.
Yeah, it's nothing happened. So whatever. It was an unstamped disc, so I think it was probably still final code anyway, not something too weird. And then that actually, if you want to hear some origin story stuff, that was then I had to immediately get clothes because I didn't have any, and so the closest thing I could find was an Adidas store.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And
The
I bought
rest is history.
tracksuits.
Aha. I see.
And
Just kind of went from there.
went from there.
Yeah.
You ended up giving those to someone else, and
Yeah, I wore them for a while, and then I was like, maybe I'm done with these. And then someone showed up at my house and stole them all. It was a whole thing.
You saw that Zelda track
Jacket
jacket that I gave you?
Yeah, I do.
Does that work out for you?
It's
Yeah.
Do you want it back?
Zelda
No,
track
I just
jacket?
want to see you in it.
Okay.
Send me a picture.
What era of Zelda are we talking?
It's just got a Triforce logo, but it's all in like gold, glittery colors. It's just kind of a sick look.
It's very fancy.
Huh?
Yeah.
I'd be down with a Tingle tracksuit.
Right? Yeah.
I have good news for you.
Yeah.
Later in this podcast.
Virtual tingle suits coming your way.
We will reconvene.
That sounds way dirtier than it should.
Yeah, that's exactly
Virtual
as dirty
tingle.
as intended.
Yep.
Do you use the trans vibrator with the virtual
It's an
tingle?
HD trans vibrator. It's a whole new one that they're coming out with. That's really gonna
HD tingle.
gonna flip some wigs.
HD tingle.
Yeah.
is very hot these days.
Mm-hmm.
What games have you been playing, Ben Pack?
I've played
in this time that you have this downtime.
I played a lot of one game,
Uh-huh.
and it's Persona
Oh.
5.
Yeah.
The 5th.
Yeah. Persona the 5th.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Are you into it?
All right, great.
Thanks for being here.
I'll see you guys later in another 8 years. No, so I feel like every time I'm about to really, really, really love it, it does something to just like twist the knife a little bit into me. Just like, oh, your main character died from one spell. Whoops.
Yep. Yeah.
Whoops.
That lines up with my experience of previous Persona.
Yeah.
Oh, is that just Persona in general?
So, I mean, there's like instant death. You know, there's a bunch of different types of elements, basically. And one of them is like curse or bless. And some foes will do an instant kill move with curse or bless. And
Is that just
it doesn't always hit.
It's just a dice roll. It's like, this might just kill you.
Yeah, and they don't always target the main character, right? They might target your allies, and you can just revive them. But if the main character dies, it's game over.
Oh.
So, or like sometimes the enemy will just crit you, and when an enemy crits in that game, it gets to go again, and then it'll just kill you because it goes twice in a row when you die. So stuff like that, where I'll lose, an hour's worth of progress in a really tough dungeon, or
Is
just,
that typical of most Persona games?
Yes.
Yeah.
That lines up. Yes. Someone casts Hama and you're just pissed.
you're just done. Yeah,
Walk away for a week.
Yeah, like there's stuff like that, and there's frustrating barriers on some of the social link stuff where you'll meet a character and you'll want to start hanging out with them, but it's like, oh, you don't have enough proficiency or kindness. And this game seems to be way worse about it than Persona 4 was.
That's what I was going to ask. Was like, is this actually like out of line for the series, or?
So pretty early on, you meet a character. He's basically the guy who runs the shop. You get all your weapons and armor and stuff from him, and a little ways into the game, there's like a story beat with him, and he gives you something, and you can't ask him about it until you have a certain level of guts. And it's level 4, and your max can be 5. And to put that in perspective, I would say I'm a little more than halfway through the game. I'm going through the 5th dungeon right now.
Is that like, what is that, August, September?
Late September.
Okay.
And I just hit 4 on my guts because I really wanted to see what this guy's quest line was about. And I was letting a couple other ones slack. And then I met another character who's pretty vital to the story, and you need max proficiency to even initiate a social link with this person. And I'm just like, well, I've wasted so much time pouring into guts that I didn't even think to raise proficiency. And it's just this weird balance where if you know ahead of time what you need to min-max, you can probably do it.
Yeah, like someone eventually writes a FAQ for the game that is like, here is what you should do with every single in-game day.
Yeah.
Like, here is the answers to the, like, for 4, it was like, here's the answers to the quiz questions, because if you miss those, you're not going to get the stuff you need. And so, yeah, there quickly becomes a right way to play the game, which then people commenting on videos are very happy to tell you about. But your first time through the game, you're not going to know any of that stuff. So it becomes like you end up wasting days.
I don't know if either one of those things sounds good. Like getting late in the game and realizing you fucked up and missed out on a bunch of stuff sounds like a bummer, but also having to follow like an intensive guide.
One of the cool things the game does, though, is it carries over those guts and proficiency stats into New Game Plus. So if you really are the kind of person who wants to see everything, you can just roll into New Game Plus, and pretty much all that stuff is just unlocked from the go. And I don't care about not maxing out all my all my social links, because you have 10 levels of social link with each friend you can make, and you get a different story beat every time you level up. And as long as I get the general story for most people, I'm fine. And I can, if I really miss somebody, I can go on YouTube and just kind of see how their thing plays out after I beat the game. But not even being able to initiate an option with somebody because they're behind a max strength skill check is a pretty big bummer.
That was some of the stuff, like just pacing wise, that was a little irksome with Persona 4. Was that feeling of just like, man, but I think the first time we played through that game, like we very quickly decided like these are the characters we care about, and these other people can fuck off.
Totally.
So it didn't matter so much.
Sorry, Kanji.
Like, yeah, basically, yeah, like whatever. It's like he seems like a fun dude. He's a very complicated character. He's got these chairs. It's fine, but he likes to knit. It's fine. But yeah, we made our decisions and stuck with them, and like having that stuff then locked behind a further wall of like you need to make sure you're doing this stat stuff to even do like that.
You got to make tools every night.
Yeah,
it's like tools raise your proficiency. But if you go see the fortune teller first and get a proper reading, then she can make your tool sessions twice as effective and blah blah blah. that being said, I really do like the game.
Okay, I really wanted to ask you, like set mechanics aside for a second and just ask like how likable it is, because I see, and this is all anecdotal, but like a bunch of people out there complaining about the quality of the localization, like other people's talking like, the cast is weaker than 4, and like I can't, as an outsider, I can't parse like, is it actually bad, or are you guys just like not happy with it because it's not Persona 4?
This game, so the way this game seems very dense in its storytelling, because unlike Persona 4, where you have your start date, like you have a certain number of days to beat a dungeon, basically. This game gives you 90% of the plot of whatever dungeon you're in the first day, and then nothing for 2 weeks, and then on the last day, that's like the resolution, right? So I think people kind of, I've had play sessions where I played for about an hour and a half. There's one in particular, I think it's before the 3rd dungeon, maybe the 4th, where I literally didn't play the game for like an hour and a half because it was all just story and hanging out with your friends. And it was really entertaining and fun. And I could see some of the like questionable localization slip through. But a lot of it has to do with the fact that like this game is set in 2016, 2017, whatever, kind of modern times. The internet plays a big factor into it. There's like message boards who are talking about your crew, and there's a lot of like leet speak, but kind of tried to modernize it a little bit. And I could see where the translation could kind of get lost, because Japanese web culture and American web culture aren't.
It's just people typing W over and over again, exactly. And you're left to parse what that really means.
Lols, just like that translates to lols, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, so I had a friend come over the other day, and he didn't know really anything about Persona, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to a dungeon. And I was like, wait, no, I want to hang out with my friend. But before I hang out with my friend, I'm going to go to the Velvet Room and get the right Persona type to hang out with my friend, because it makes it more... And I was just
that ended up being one of my least favorite things about the social link stuff in Persona 4, was the idea of like, you're only going to see any progress if you have this specific arcana in your inventory. It was just like, come on, just let me just do it. Just let me just do it.
Just let me just hang out. I want to hang out.
Yeah.
But like, I was explaining all this stuff I could do, and I was just like, and then I'm going to go work at the flower shop because I hear that, I can get my kind. And I was just like talking really in depth and just going and going and going. And I was like, wow, this game has taught me how to do so much stuff that it's kind of mind blowing that I can like play it. The game, there's so many different things you can do every day. You can focus on Persona Fusion. You can dungeon crawl. You can work. You can hang out with friends. You can build your stats out. You can, explore the cities. Like, you eventually unlock a bigger map of Japan by just visiting locations, and then you can go to any of those. Like, you can go to Shibuya and hang out with the popular shopping like areas. You can go to like a shrine and pray to bring back skills that your personas have forgotten, and it's just really dense, and there's so much to do, and I find that it is pretty smooth. Just the course of playing the game.
But all the while, the calendar's ticking away, right?
Yes.
Like do you have like some definitive end date where it's like, okay, on this date the game is done, like whatever you haven't done, too bad?
It's better than Persona 4, because it'll be like, okay, you have 22 days to end this dungeon. Whereas Persona 4, it was just like when the rainy season ends.
Yeah, or like you would, well, what is it? It would get foggy.
Yeah.
And then so when it would rain, but then it would get foggy. When it would start getting foggy, I think is when you're like, okay, I've got like 2 days left to wrap this thing up. So you wouldn't really know how long you had. You would just know when the end was getting close.
Okay. What happens if you don't make it?
You get a bad ending.
It ends. Does it end right there, or do you have to restart the?
It'll push you back to like. You can go back to... So actually, I failed to finish the first dungeon in time because I didn't know you need an extra day to kind of send a calling card, which is slang for like, get ready to fight the boss. I didn't realize that. I thought I could just go straight into the boss at the end of the dungeon, but it takes an extra day. So I saw that you get like... It's actually kind of cool. There's a different bad ending for each of the dungeons. They all end with you getting arrested because you're, the punk kid. Kind of the game sets you up as like a delinquent, even though you were doing the right thing. But, it's just like, oh, you're under arrest because this terrible thing happened and we've linked you to it. And your fake dad is just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, get out of my house.
Oh,
you're not the boss of me, fake dad.
Stupid fake dad.
I like the fake dad in Persona 5 a lot more than fake dad in Persona 4.
What's up with fake dads in Persona?
Well, it's a kid. Like, there's the whole... Like, well, 4, I can't remember if 3 was this way or not. Yeah, it's your uncle in 4. You're sent away for a year because your parents are going away, going abroad, and so you move to another town for a year. So that's the whole premise is you're going to do a year at this school, and so the whole game takes place over the course of that year.
Right.
So you hang out with your guardian, kind of. And
yeah, and this one you're like on probation or whatever.
Yeah,
so.
you get in trouble for doing some stuff. I don't have to get into specifics, but like you end up with this guy who's like a kind of a family friend or something. They don't really explain it right away. You have to get more into his social link to figure it out. But he's just this like dude he's this ladies' man who owns a cafe, who wears a pink shirt and a white suit, like white blazer. And he's got slicked back hair, and he's got a really cool beard. He makes curry and coffee. He's just a really cool guy.
All right.
I really like him.
He's a motherfucking hustler.
Just a fucking cool guy. He drives you to school on the first day, and he's like, "Oh, this traffic sucks. You're taking the fucking subway from now on. Get out of my car."
This guy don't take no guff.
Yeah.
So what, like if you fail to finish dungeon, does it just like boot you back to the beginning of that cycle, and then you lose everything that you did up to that point?
I think you can go back to a save.
Okay.
Like if you save, you can have multiple save slots. So if you're really worried about not finishing in time, you can do one maybe halfway through. I finished the dungeons. Every time I do it, I finish the dungeon pretty much right away. Because I want to just get in there, make some money in the dungeon so I can, afford to hang out with my friends. It costs money to ride the subway, and you can, this one's unique in that you can buy gifts only for the girl characters, but you can buy gifts to give them, give it to them and buff, your social status with them. And different girls like different gifts, and
it's like Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
It's a lot like Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Finally.
Waited so long.
And then you butt battle.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Don't tell me you don't know, Brad.
I feel like I've been missing out on something.
Yeah, you should probably play some
Something
Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Substantial.
I've got a copy of DOAX Fortune, DOX3 Fortune.
Like on hand at all times, or
It's a digital download.
Oh,
so
perfect.
yes, it's in the cloud. We can get it that anytime.
It's all around us.
Yeah.
DOA is here.
Apparently they never,
Right now in the room with us.
Apparently they did eventually patch PlayStation VR support into that game, but only the Japanese version, not the Asian English language version.
Oh wow,
which is good because I bought the Japanese one.
super.
So
That's a weird thing to not do.
that's I don't know. I don't know.
One other cool thing about this game is kind of touching on what Jeff talked about in Persona 4, where you kind of have your key crew and you basically just stick with them the whole time. This one's different, where you can kind of, there's a social link you can level up where you can kind of swap your party on the go. So if you level up everyone a little bit, they'll all kind of like come in and help out. Like if you get certain characters to like level 6 friendship, I don't know exactly what level, they'll like heal status ailments, even if they aren't in your party. So you can like tag somebody in kind of on the go. So it's nice it makes me feel more like I'm part of a group of people rather than I just have like 3 really close friends and a couple other dudes who hang out.
These people are in the cutscenes, but we're out here kicking these tanks and dealing with business.
Yeah. So it's cool that they're kind of urging players to have a lot more interactions with a lot more people rather than just trying to min-max on Yosuke and Chie and Yukiko.
I've heard about Chie.
How could you forget Chie?
Heard some things. So Persona 5 Ben Pack approved?
Yes.
Okay. That's good to hear.
Yes, asterisk.
Yes. Okay. All right. Certain people who will remain nameless have been making
fans of the series
leading
will
me to
enjoy
believe.
Persona 5
Okay.
for PS4.
I've been led to believe by certain people that it was disappointing.
It's not disappointing, but it's not as good as it could have been.
Okay. All right.
It's still good. I still very much enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to finishing it. I took a little break to play some Nier, but I'm gonna finish it soon.
Okay.
Have you seen any of the endings in Nier yet?
No,
All right.
I'm only 3 or 4 hours in.
I'm still creeping my way through it. Still good.
It's good.
I've got to get back to that thing.
I completely was not following it at all and managed to forget that it was a platinum game.
Right.
Which when I booted it up and I saw that logo, I got really
I was
excited.
like, oh right, yeah.
Hey, bonus.
Big Vanquish is one of my favorite games just ever.
Stay tuned. Hopefully.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I was really excited. I was like, oh, this is gonna have good combat, I feel. And then sure enough, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I was think I was saying last week that it's a little easier than I wish it was.
Yeah.
Like it's not
Not-
doing it for
not
me
as
the way
engaging
not as
as
engaging as
some
some
of
other
the other-
platinum games, I
yeah.
guess. But like it
Is
still
it just
feels
mashy?
great.
Is that the thing? Like
It's
you just kinda-
mashy. The
just
counter
kinda-
window is really wide.
Right,
Like you
right.
can
Yeah.
kind of slop your way through
Okay.
it.
You can just kind of
Oh, man, I love the
Yeah.
slop though.
It is like playing bad pool. You can just slop your way all through that fucking thing.
But you feel good doing it.
Yeah, but you
looks
still
really
feel
awesome.
good doing it. It looks great.
Yeah.
The elusive masse. The ball curves around the other ball.
Okay. Wow, that's high level.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, bad pool. I thought you were talking about DOA still.
Nope. Definitely not.
I mean, always on some level we're talking about DOA.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a little more subtle than others.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we are going to take our first break. We will be right back in just a moment.
Sometimes you just need a home base.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Springboard?
A place where you can kind of say, this is the center. This is the nucleus of everything we're doing.
My home.
Your home.
Yeah.
On the internet.
Oh.
Doubly so.
My digital home.
Your digital home. Your D-home.
My virtual digital
D-home.
tongue-twisting home.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes you need to start a website devoted to your tongue twisters.
Yes.
And
she sells seashells by the seashore.
go on. 2 more times.
That's all I got.
Now hold your tongue and spell. All right.
Seashells
No.
by the seashore.
Okay. All right. You're going to need a home for all of this material. But who...
Top shelf.
Exactly. Who has time to build a website these days?
I know. I'm too busy. One of my hands is always holding my tongue.
Well, that's the best news of all because now you can use your mouse and build a website with Squarespace.
A mouse is a one-handed device.
Exactly.
So I can continue to talk like that.
Yes.
While I'm using the mouse.
Exactly.
Well, website.
You can use Squarespace's beautiful templates to create your website. It's a simple and intuitive process. Anyone can do it. Probably even if you were holding your tongue. We have not put that through its paces.
Yes.
I'm not gonna actually
Nope.
necessarily.
Don't
say
put your
that's-
tongue on your mouse.
Don't put your tongue on your mouse. Your mouse is probably filthy.
The dirtiest thing you own.
Unlike the ideas in your head for a business,
Yep,
those are clean and pure.
Squeaky clean.
Put them on the internet with Squarespace. Put your portfolio out there, a store, whatever you got. You can add and arrange your content. There's nothing to install or patch. If you got a question, Squarespace has the answer 24/7. They're there to help you out with this stuff.
Actual people?
Actual
Human beings?
human beings that
Answer
can
my
answer your
questions?
questions via the internet.
Wow.
It's powerful.
Huh.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
And
knowledge is power.
knowledge is power, and you can get 10% off that power.
Discount power.
Discount power by getting 10% off your first purchase by going and entering the offer code BOMBCAST at squarespace.com today. Start a free trial. If you like it, sign up. Use the offer code BOMBCAST. It's that easy.
Wi-Fi. Jeff, tell me a tale of the video games.
Ah, yes. The video
Regale
games.
me with a tale.
I've been playing a little Nog, which is out today.
Is it Nog?
I'm going to say it's Nog.
Is it definitely not?
Is it
Edgy
Gnog?
silent.
Maybe it's Gnog.
Gnog?
Ganache.
Maybe it's not.
I like ganache.
Gnog.
Yeah.
Is this the French pronunciation?
It's French for good night.
It's bong backwards with a G instead of a B.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
That game
right?
makes 100% sense
Yeah.
now.
No, I don't know. It's like Nat, G-N-A-T.
Yes, that's possible. Yeah, you
You
might
know.
be right.
I'm just trying to use the English I do know and apply it to these made-up crazy words
Maybe it's like GNU, though.
for their weird stoner
Yeah.
games.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
like
I
dou-
saw-
Double Fine. There's going to be a
coming
double
hot,
pack.
hot off the heels of everything?
Yeah, coming hot
Yeah.
off the heels of everything is Nog,
Okay.
another game for people that like to just relax.
Uh-huh.
A game that is now legal in California.
Yes, definitely.
People that just want to sink into the couch and
Just kind of do a thing.
I saw somebody, I forget, somebody on my Twitter feed referred to it as a game/toy.
Yeah.
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 So
It's like these little boxes that you can fiddle with things on, and the boxes look like heads, and you can open up the back of them and solve puzzles. And so there's like some puzzle solving. You'll kind of eventually solve it, and some things will happen. But it really is just kind of, here's this face, and if you move the cursor over the eye and hit it, it'll do a thing. If you move it over
it's like
the
a robot. So it's the title screen of Mario 64.
yeah, except you don't really drag
Wow.
Mario's face around. It's
No.
like
If you want to like get a good look inside Mario's head,
Yeah, if you
find out
spun
what's
Mario's
going
head
on.
around,
Do.
and took off the hat, and
Yeah.
saw there's a little Mario living inside making music.
I've been waiting 21 years for
and
this.
then you adjusted Mario's ears and nose to make the music right. Then the Mario inside the Mario would get really thrilled about it, and then eventually the head would start singing, and you would go on to the next head.
That sounds Okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
So is it cool?
It's cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a real cool art style to it.
Really
and
great sounds.
Yeah.
The game sound, the music and the sound.
It's like, you know how like for babies they'll make like it'll be like a little steering wheel with a honk and then a little rattle thing, and like it's like 8 different things that
Cars
make
for
noise.
babies.
Or
Siren.
here's a little siren, or here's a little like a fake phone on it that goes.
Sure.
Like, here's a little rattle.
Okay.
Here's this.
You know how you're playing with your bop it most of the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that.
Okay.
It's that, but with like light puzzle solving that then makes it all kind of come together in this crescendo before you move on to the next head. And it also supports VR. I've not tried it with PlayStation VR, but it does support that.
It was pleasant to watch.
Yeah.
I think. Like, I don't know if I'd enjoy playing it because it was a little obtuse, like what you had to do. So a lot of it was just like fiddling around. Okay, what does this actually interact with?
Okay.
It's not real clear. But
Yeah, it's like that. You know,
it encouraged you to just mouse around and find out what the hell's going on with stuff.
Yeah, so like one of them, I guess an example is like you kind of turned it around to the backside, and there are some puzzles to solve back there that open up the back, and then you see inside, and there's a little monster in there, and he's got a little bubble coming out that says he wants a butterfly. And you're like, okay, well, he wants to eat a butterfly, so we gotta what do we got to do here?
Find a butterfly.
Find light bulbs.
Make a butterfly.
So you kind of start rifling through the drawers in the room and stuff like that by kind of hovering over the drawer, hitting the button to make it pop
Is it
out.
just a cursor you're moving around?
Yeah, it's just a
to
little
click
cursor.
on
You
stuff?
move around and
Okay.
click on stuff.
Okay.
And you eventually find 2 light bulbs, screw them in. That then makes a butterfly fly
Oh,
over.
naturally.
Then you have to unscrew the light bulbs so that the butterfly flies around a little bit more. Then the monster tries to eat it as it's flying around.
So this is basically just do everything you can do until something happens.
That's
All right.
1,000% that. Do
Sure.
everything you can do, and eventually some shit will happen.
Okay.
There is a logic to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a lot.
Some are a little more open, like the underwater one seemed like a little less linear. It was just kind of like, after the fish steals my eyes, what do I do?
What do you do?
That's the eternal question.
Yeah.
When the fish come for your eyes, what will you do?
Ooh. Just let him have it.
Yeah. So
That
it
seems right.
It
Stop
seems like there's
stopping 'em.
maybe like 6 or 7 different heads in it.
Okay.
Levels, I guess I would
Sure.
say.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not all heads. I haven't seen them all.
You haven't tried the VR?
No, I have not.
Okay.
No, I brought that headset back in here, so I
Yeah,
don't
we
have
did.
that at home.
Yeah.
But
We need to catch up on some PSVR stuff.
Yeah.
We got a backlog.
yeah. I'm kind of
Things to
curious
check
because
out.
they did put out some firmware updates that people have said
Yeah.
kind of improved the tracking.
Yeah.
So
I haven't played it yet. I've only messed around with the Oculus.
It's good. It's good. It says got one in the studio if you want to.
Let's go.
Slip it on.
someone actually did write
Will
in.
it fit my
in-
giant head?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
The question we got was like, will it work because you are a tall?
Oh, yeah.
And-
I think it should. It's not like Connect where I literally
Right.
couldn't play.
Couldn't fit in the
because-
Well,
frame.
yeah.
Well, this thing is also camera based, so
Yeah, but they were saying like with Vive or something like that, just because there is a process of like setting the floor and making sure it's the right distance away. So the floor in VR matches the floor in reality, which I assume it would go up.
Why? It's virtual. Why do you need to match the floor?
Well, so I had a floor miscalibrate when we were playing a game, and I had to pick something up off the
that
floor,
was
and
accounting,
I
right?
couldn't because the real floor would get in the way, and I couldn't reach my hand down
no.
far enough to get the thing.
But you should just be able to like stretch your arm out or something. It's the virtual reality.
know,
You should
I
be able
know.
to.
I shouldn't even
contort
have
your body.
arms.
Yeah,
I should be
you
a
shouldn't
snake
be a floor.
creature. Yeah,
some kind of
This is
octopus.
bullshit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nog.
Nog.
Sets out to solve these issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no floors underwater.
No, exactly. There's no
Wow,
floors.
that's far out.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Let's see, what else? We've been playing some more of that Player Unknown's
Yeah.
Battlegrounds.
Yeah. I keep
It sounds like you've
playing that.
It sounds like you've gotten into it.
Yes. Man, I was so close to the chicken dinner.
Oh man.
This morning.
Ooh.
What
This
did
morning?
you? What,
Yeah.
what-
You're like
how
a
high
tuna.
have you?
It's become my go-to thing when I can't sleep and I'm up at 4:30 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah, nice, very settling,
Lately.
relaxing, no tension.
Well, I used to go immediately fire up Dota.
okay, this
Brad,
is better.
So
Brad,
this is probably better.
Brad.
Yeah.
Dota's pretty good. You can come back to Dota.
I'm glad you're here,
Mhm.
Ben.
Brad.
If we now interrupt
I'm here to
this
help you.
regularly scheduled podcast.
All right, it's time for the new segment.
Fuck.
For our,
Shit.
our
God
brand
damn it.
brand new segment.
All right, let's talk about
An hour of talking
Monster
about
Hunter.
Dota 2.
Let's go, Jason. Help.
All right,
Ready.
take it away.
I've been ready for this moment.
God
did-
Eater 2. Let's
I
go.
did watch a lot of Dota.
Yeah, the Kia
there was
Major.
the big old tournament.
the Kia Major was this past weekend.
Yeah, it was really cool. I've been kind of off off Pro Dota for a little while.
I tend to get into it for the international and then forget again about a month after that.
Yeah,
but
it
I
was
did watch
cool.
the finals.
There were a lot of interesting teams. There was a lot of
Has
diverse
the game changed? Are people playing it differently now?
I was out of it I just started playing Dota again last 3 weeks or something, maybe a month ago. I didn't touch it for like 6 months.
The hot thing right now are roaming supports.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Okay.
getting like a nice Monkey King or a Ricky out there to kind of run around and cause mischief.
Maybe this is I have completely like lost the plot on this, but if they want people to roam, why did they make the TP cooldown longer?
Yeah,
Right.
I don't get it.
What the fuck?
I
man?
thought like they've like made TPs cheaper 2 patches in a row and all this
Yeah,
other
and
stuff,
they-
and all of
they
a sudden
like-
it's like now you can't move around as much.
they reduced how much healing you get from the the shrines,
shrines,
too.
yeah.
So I don't know. They like to. I feel like whenever they make a big change, they like shake things up a ton and then have to just like spend the next 6 patches making tiny little tweaks because they're like, oops, we fucked up everything.
Yeah, that
super
happened
bad.
with like when Glimmer Cape
Yeah.
got introduced. It was
is that why Chet left?
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fucking Glimmer Cape. Fuck this.
Yep. No, that was like a year ago.
Eric was right.
He knew. You don't even get him started about Dragonlance.
Nobody would listen to it.
Inner workings of Valve revealed.
Yeah. I'm still new enough to the 7.0 stuff that I'm still having to ask questions like what makes a shrine vulnerable? Like I don't know big details like that, so I'm pretty out of it right now. Like,
Yeah.
have you been playing a lot or?
Yeah, I kind of like come and go when it comes to Dota, and when I come hard.
Go on.
Dota
Makes me come hard.
it's a very
Okay. All right.
affecting game. Really
Stiff competition.
brings it. Yeah. Really gets a rise out of people.
Go on.
I mean, I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time with Dota.
No, please,
because we have
proceed.
next week. But
We have all the time in the world.
We do one of these shows a week. Every week.
you have
one of these Dota shows.
Yeah,
you
one of
have,
these Dota
you have
shows.
potentially a lifetime of
weekly
talking
Dota.
about Dota on a weekly basis ahead of you.
But the last thing I wanted to say about my involvement with Dota is it's very upsetting. The game.
Which
to play.
part? Just the game?
Playing
Oh yeah,
it,
no,
and it's
tell me about
not
it.
healthy, and it
yes.
shouldn't be played by humans.
Yes.
But watching it is very
You're not
fun.
wrong. You're not wrong.
It was really impressive. You know, OG is the team that won the most recent
Yeah.
major. They have won more Valve-sponsored majors, which only happen 3 times a year, than any other LAN tournament combined.
Yeah.
So they're very good right now.
5 of them now, is that
I
right?
think
Was this
4
their
or
5?
5.
4 or 5? But they got knocked out of TI6 like super early. It was
Yeah.
like a massive upset. They
Yeah,
were like
yeah.
the favorites, and then they didn't even make it out of like group stage.
And you know, it's really impressive. I watch a lot of competitive games and esports and stuff like that. But just watching a team play so well around each other is just so like awesome. You're watching, you're like, wow, these rotations, these ganks, the call outs. These other lanes are causing a bunch of distractions, so the mid laner can catch up because he died in the first couple minutes. And then you go into your game, your pub, and you load it up, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna pick
Right, I'm
Monkey
ready.
King, I'm gonna roam, and oh boy,
Doesn't
it's just
quite work
not
out that
even.
way.
It's
Yeah.
not even like a little. It doesn't even resemble it a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all that kind of team stuff, and I mean that's what we did playing Battlegrounds yesterday. Just very fluid, in and out, covering each other. It's why
You guys
we
were working so well together.
we worked so we got it done.
Well-oiled machine.
Yeah, we got it absolutely done.
Can you squat up in Battlegrounds with strangers?
I don't
No,
think so.
don't
I don't
think
think
so.
there's a way to match into team games by yourself. Is there?
I don't think you have to set your lobby ahead of time before you go in. But
So I was
don't
gonna say
know.
that seems like a game.
There's a checkbox
that-
that says like auto matching, but I don't know what that does.
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
Maybe
actually.
it would match you up, but I don't
I
know.
don't think I would want to. If I'm playing by
Yeah.
myself, I want to be against nothing but other lone wolves.
You want that
'cause-
chicken dinner by yourself. You don't want to share.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so I've not played alone since the
Really?
last 2 streams that we've done, and yeah, I just haven't had time. I definitely want to get back to it because I still think I probably enjoy playing alone a little bit more.
I'm warming up to solo.
or I
in
guess
a way
like
that I haven't.
solo is a way to play when I want to be very methodical and serious and all that sort of stuff. When we're having goofabouts and streaming it up, fuck it, man.
That's just sort of whatever.
Yeah. And try to be patient, try to take it seriously, but at some point I think we just want to go for it.
Yes.
And I definitely heard from a lot of people after the stream we ran on Monday People saying like actually the fun thing to do in squads is to play hyper aggressively and just fucking goof around and go for it. But I don't know.
Guns blazing.
It's a lot of time. There's a lot of time, a lot of wind up time before that first encounter. A lot of the time, that then it makes you take it seriously. You want it to count.
Yes.
You want that first encounter to go well.
Yeah. The longer you're in it, the higher the stakes.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the tension ratchets up in that game in a way that kind of makes me not want to goof around and stuff like that. But
And just like, I mean, you land on the ground and you're immediately like, okay, let's start scavenging. And so you start, looking for guns and whatever, and you just kind of get in that mindset, and then you can hear a gunshot, and you're just like, oh shit, we gotta
that game is situational in a way that very few are. Like just the things that are happening around you feel very like important.
Yeah,
every time like a single gunshot is enough to make you go like, oh shit.
A single open door in a house.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
like that's the fucking one of the scariest things you see is your first open door. Like, all right, was this guy here 10 minutes ago or 10 seconds ago? That stuff gets pretty serious. But like the hard time I'm having in squads, and I think maybe the thing we need to do next time we play is we need to call out, hey, everybody stop fucking moving so we can hear if there are footsteps other than our own.
You guys need code words.
Yeah. Well, we're not talking into in-game chat, so no one would hear us anyway. I don't think we need to come up with a coded language.
You need a word for stop. Everyone stop moving.
All right.
Just like freeze.
I like that. That's okay.
Yeah, that's tactical.
All right.
Wait,
tactical
I didn't know you were into military lingo.
I think you guys need somebody to kind of just like overview and give you
that game needs a coach.
The hot coaching military tactics.
It's a little military RP.
Oscar Mike is a phrase.
Okay. Yeah. That's I've heard that one before. Guns. Okay. I think I've used that one before.
Weapons free.
See, I saw.
What's that mean?
It means you don't have to pay for the guns.
It's free guns.
Yeah, you find them
on the ground.
Yeah, they're on the ground.
Yep.
I like that game a great deal.
It's so much fun.
They sold 2 million.
Oh, did they announce?
Yeah,
they
announced 2
I
million,
figured they had to be getting close if they hadn't already.
So yeah,
is that out or is
it's early access? So
what is it? 30?
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, it's really quite good.
Did you notice that the items in that game are Steam items? Have you looked at your Steam inventory?
No.
Oh yeah,
I didn't realize.
Yeah, all the cosmetic items in that game are full on Dota style like Steam.
Oh,
items.
so
is there a marketplace?
Can I buy glasses out of the marketplace?
I don't think they're tradable yet. I could be wrong. Damn. But that is totally going to be a hat game.
Okay,
100%.
No, it fucking should be.
And they're going to make
right?
$1 bazillion.
Yeah,
on that stuff.
Backpacks. Ooh, I could see some like nice designer backpacks being a thing.
Oh yeah.
Well, so you can't, but you can't start with a backpack because that has gameplay.
Right.
That has gameplay attached.
But clothing,
to it.
like
so,
any kind of clothing.
A sick
This
jacket.
is my guy with he's got his Yeezys.
So
diving out of the plane.
He's got the fucking white headphones.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But those,
they should just port all the TF2 items over.
That would be really good. I still once in a while get somebody bugging me about my white earbuds for TF2. Damn.
People want my like rabbit ears and Sam and Max pistol
for TF2.
Yeah.
Man. The internet is so weird.
Yeah, it is.
I'm pretty sure that my yellow puffy jacket actually was helping me out when I was prone in the wheat field this morning.
Okay.
Like I think that actually there was like a real camo element going on.
Your
there.
whole squad can get like matching outfits.
Yeah, we want to
so
look
you
tough.
just like hide in the grass.
Yeah.
You plan out your route accordingly, and you're like, okay, it's a little more yellow over here, so we're gonna go around this way.
Oh man,
Tactics, man.
Tactics. Yeah.
I made it to number 10. I've had a scoped M4.
Yeah, that's what you
I was
want.
hanging out in the wheat.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody saw. I killed a guy.
Yeah.
And then I stopped paying attention to the circle and started using, what is the instant full heal? Is it the med kit?
Yeah, yes.
But it's like a 9-second channel or something like that.
that.
Literally was like 2 seconds away from the med kit finishing the channel, and the fucking
God damn it.
energy field swept over me and I died.
That's a bad. That's the worst.
I thought that was the run and it was not. But
yeah, the time I won, well, that was the last time I played solo. I won. It was just like, great, awesome, fucking wrap it up, uninstall, finish.
I probably, I could
no,
understand that.
but then we started streaming it, and that got me back into it.
Yeah, it's a heck of a game.
Yeah, I never would have thought that I would get into, well, just considering that like up until now these games have been a lot of them have been mods for like H1Z1 and stuff like that. Like I never would have thought I would
Arma and stuff like that.
I never would have thought I would have played anything that had any lineage to Arma or H1Z1. Considering how I feel about those two games, but this is a really I'm just having a really great time with it.
Really well designed. It's just like it
it's
like the it's well paced, the how quickly everything encloses, and then that just lasts like 10 or so people when you're just in that little zone, and it's
and it's really smartly refined. Like we took a look at King of the Kill on UPF,
right,
and like they've stripped out what seems like stuff that didn't need to be there, like crafting.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've just distilled it down to like what's fun about that mode,
right? I'm happy that game is doing well for the people that are working on it. There was one of the updates they put out, so like, hey, this is gonna be our last patch, and then we're gonna take a week off. I was like, oh, that's awesome. You guys should, because this is crazy how well this game is doing. Like take a fucking week and then get back to work.
It's not like they've just been like kind of working around the clock.
I bet
since it came out.
As the money rolls in, they're like, just keep going. Just keep going. They're like, no, just ease back a little bit.
You guys think they're gonna add like other modes to try and give it legs, or
I don't know.
I wonder what they'll need to do. As much as like the camo friendly cosmetics make a ton of sense, I would still want to see them have like, my head's a boombox now, just like other just dumb shit, nog heads for it basically.
Okay. I don't know what they would like. How would you modify that?
I would do a 10-person match that starts with a much smaller circle, like speed battlegrounds or something.
Okay.
If you just want that instant rush of the last 10 minutes of one of those matches.
I don't know. I feel like I need that build up to build the investment in the match.
Totally, yeah. But
it would just turn into a death match at some point.
Yeah, it would not be as good, I think. But if in terms of modes I could see them doing, that one would make some sense.
Check this out. You got the map. It's capture the flag. There's a flag on each side, and the borders just come in on a little rectangle, and it gets skinnier and skinnier with the flag on each end. By the end, it's
just a corridor of channel of death.
Yeah.
Well, you're just shooting bullets down it. Just like, well, maybe this will hit somebody.
Dan wanted like an island-wide demolition derby.
Oh, like a vehicle
just
thing?
Like tons of vehicles everywhere.
That'd be...
They could do like mods, right? Just like this
Yeah.
extra car mod, or like hella guns, or,
I guess I would like to see them, like, I'd almost like to see some of that stuff come up randomly. Because sometimes there are drops where I drop in and can't find a gun, and I'm left wondering, like, is it like this for everyone this time? Will they have a seed or some version of that map that's like, hey, there are going to be very few guns on this one, so everyone's going to be punching each other for a lot longer before they find something, and they might just find pistols. Just like GoldenEye rules, basically. Just like fucking pistols only, or, fucking all melee.
Yeah.
Just dumb shit like that. But I would almost, rather than have that come up as a separate mode that you queue up for, like, just have it be like, sometimes in Spelunky it's a dark level. Like sometimes you get the vehicle spawn, sometimes you get, all this other stuff.
I wish that thing had times a day. I would love that. I would love to have like a night.
Yeah, night and night vision.
Like one out of like 20 matches, it rains for me.
Yeah,
and even that kind of messes with your visibility a little bit. Like,
can you imagine like the sun setting as the circle comes in?
Yeah. And like it'd be cool to have like like random night vision pickups that give you an edge at night and stuff like that. Like it seems like a lot more just kind of like that up and down.
Right,
they could do in terms of what you're finding.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, there are a lot of different directions they go with that. Yeah. The night stuff would only be night stuff gets weird because then what if you're the player that doesn't find the night vision goggles? You're just kind of fucked.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what kind of light levels we're talking.
Yeah,
but,
I guess.
There's a lot of different stuff they could do.
Yeah, it's a really neat game. It's come together. Well, whatever, come together, nothing. Like it's
already
refined that idea in a really smart way, and I'm really excited to see where they go from here.
It's like, for me, it's already occupying that position where whenever we start talking about it, it makes me just want to go play it.
Yep,
like right then.
Mm-hmm.
So
for sure,
I guess we have to move on.
To go play it.
No,
all right, sadly, let's go. No, so yeah, I like that game quite a bit. Trying to think what else I've been fiddling with. Some Marvel Heroes Omega, which is the PS4 version of Marvel Heroes. And we talked about
that last week.
They patched it, but they're getting ready to wipe progress and go to the open beta from closed beta.
Really?
So
I didn't know that they were wiping progress.
They're wiping
so
in a couple weeks.
Anybody can just download it.
Not purchases or anything like
no,
that.
you'll everything you purchased, you'll still keep. Like I think you'll get refund on whatever you spent too.
Interesting.
Because they'll just reset back to, hey, this is the stuff you paid money for. You have all that.
Okay.
But yeah, they're going to wipe before they put it out there for reals.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah. Game seems clunky. I don't know. Like the console version, it's good in some ways because it's a full-fledged console UI where I went back and played the PC version with a controller, and it still has a lot of cases where you pop up the inventory and it just suddenly your joystick is moving a mouse cursor on the screen. And you're like, this is not good for anyone.
It does not feel good at all. I thought that would still be like the definitive place to play it because they added controller support, but it's janky. as hell. Like,
Yeah.
not a good experience.
I imagine at some point they backport the controller work they're doing for this console game and do it that exact way in the PC version someday. But I don't know. The way they've done stashes and stuff like that is so weird now. Like every time I come back to that PC version, I just feel more and more lost.
Yeah.
Just
It's been
because
just leaving a bad taste in my mouth as of late. Like I had that first initial weekend where I was super into it. I'm like, okay, we got console controls. I can play this at my leisure.
Yeah.
And each time I come away, I'm like, I don't know if I'm into this anymore.
Yeah, like I like it, but I don't know that I want to spend a ton of time with it. And then I've been digging around, finding more of my games in my house, and moving stuff around and cleaning stuff up.
Are you hunting for anything in particular?
Yeah, I was I was specifically looking for my Neo Geo Pocket Color game.
Gotcha.
Because so this all stemmed from I switched to yet another game collection tracking software package.
Okay.
And
what are you on now?
Collectors with a Z.
Great. Not a great name.
What happened to Delicious Library? Because that was a great name.
Delicious
That's a much
Library
better name.
is a good piece of software, but okay. You want to hear about the real fucking problem with running a collection tracking stuff?
Yes.
Data
Okay.
is fucking hard. We do it. We try to store
your data
on
or their
games.
data?
Their data.
Okay.
If you are maintaining one of these packages, one of these pieces of
I see.
software
I see.
or a website, whatever it is, maintaining data integrity.
The info about the stuff you're putting in there
is
is
fucking hard. So Delicious Library pulled from Amazon. Amazon has an API that they use to surface things that are for sale on Amazon.
Right.
And Amazon's data is pretty complete in most cases.
What are we talking about on a per game basis? Like box shot, release date?
No, they're not great with release dates. It really is just
I'm saying in terms of ideally
turning a
what you want.
barcode into a title and platform.
Okay.
And hopefully region and stuff like that.
I'm just asking, like, what do you want ideally?
What I want ideally
library?
is I want to scan a barcode on a thing, and I want that to turn into name of game, platform game is on, region,
Fun factor.
sound,
Yeah, that's right.
number of but it's name, platform, region, variant. Like, is this the greatest hits version?
Oh.
Is this the Game of the Year edition?
Do those get different ISBNs?
Yeah, those all get different UPCs
or UPCs, whatever it is.
EANs, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And so
G10s.
I wanted to narrow it down to the exact release.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to pull the box art appropriate for that.
I would think release date would be important for like sorting.
Release date is super important
Chronologically and
but the
stuff.
further back you go,
the
at some
harder
point
that-
that release date data doesn't exist.
Then you might end up with mismatches on different re-releases and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And in some cases, like the greatest hits editions had the same UPC as the original release.
Oh, wow.
In some territories and stuff like that. So that stuff, it's fucking hard. Like I have a lot of criticisms about the way some of these different places are doing it. But I will acknowledge, as someone who also stores that data on a website, it's fucking hard. So
I mean, so much of that stuff was created with none of this in mind.
Exactly,
Right? It's just like,
exactly.
who would ever need this?
Yeah.
It's not even a thought that it would cross their mind.
So the Amazon API changed a while back to where they have it's called the third-party advertising API, I think is what Amazon calls it. So the third parties can advertise Amazon products. A lot of products got lifted out of that API and are no longer available. So a lot of Genesis games, a lot of older games that Amazon has never sold themselves, that are only for sale by like third parties and have never been carried in an official capacity, a lot of those items got lifted out of that API. So when you scan them in Delicious Library, they're gone.
That sucks.
They don't happen.
Okay, tying the database to physical inventory seems like the wrong way to go.
Well, I mean,
if you're looking for completeness.
Amazon still sells that stuff. It's
Yeah.
just whatever restriction, whatever change they made to this API, like ended up, the side effect was that it made this software a little less useful to me.
Yeah.
So at some point, I exported that data from there and imported it into a site called Libib, LIBIB.com, which seems to be primarily built around the idea that you are a library and you are going to pay these people to help you track what you have loaned out at any given
Wait, you
time.
mean like a public library?
Yeah.
Huh.
Or like a library of media or something like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so it's really, they have a free tier, which is fine for one person. But if you're actually going to be a library and lend things out, they have a pro tier that is paid that is better at tracking how many copies you have, who has what, all that sort of stuff. So I imported all the data into there, which then like 300 games didn't come in because Labib's data didn't have the same data that Delicious Library had and all this other stuff. So I was using that for a while, and that was not great. The display end is not great. For hey, I'm going to show you my collection. That interface is barely existent, and then as let me look at my collection, it's only slightly better. But I'm still using that for a while and slowly piecing that together and then kind of letting it fall by the wayside because I was just like, fuck it. This is too much of a hassle. Neither of these packages are great. So a couple weeks ago, I was like, I'm going to give this collector's thing a try again. I tried it before and was not super happy with it a couple years ago or however long it was.
Do you have to start it from scratch at that point?
So I went
Or,
back
like,
to
import a
Delicious
library?
Library and exported
Gotcha.
a CSV that was like game name, platform, and the EAN, which is the barcode. But here's the catch on that. EAN is always 13 digits. So an EAN it'll be a UPC code with an additional 0 on the front of it. Stop me if this is too exciting for you.
I'm curious.
Just stop.
Collectors, no.
Okay.
Collectors,
You don't have stop privileges yet. You got to do at least a month first.
They want UPCs, so
Okay.
they want 12-digit
Oh,
ones, not the 13-digit ones that came out of Delicious Library.
okay. Oh,
So in order to link it up to their data, I have to go in and
Add a
manually
0.
delete the first 0
delete.
and then hit link. And then it searches their
there's got to be
database.
some way to load that CSV into like Excel or something and run a something on that
Yes.
column.
If I hadn't already manually done most of the work on this stuff anyway, then yeah, you're probably right. There is a macro. There's probably a way to run this that would be faster than what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I was starting from scratch with this service, I would not have these problems because I would be
scanning it
scanning
all
my
in.
stuff for the first time and it would be fine.
Are you actually optically scanning and barcode with that
Yes.
stuff, like
Yeah.
with your phone or whatever? That's pretty
I'm
cool.
using my phone to do it. I actually bought a Bluetooth barcode scanner
Is it
at one
the
point.
don't tell me?
No, it's not a QCat.
Okay, that's what I was trying to think of.
No, it's a industrial. I bought a fucking serious piece
Aha.
of goddamn technology for this
See.
shit, and it works great, man. You hear that beep noise, you're like,
Yeah.
that's like I'm fucking
It's
checking
a really
groceries.
good
It's badass. And the phone apps are actually quite good as well. So I've been looking at that and going like, wait a minute. As I ran this import, did I never scan in my Neo Geo Pocket Color games? And I went, wait a minute, I haven't seen those fucking things in a long time. What the fuck happened?
Yeah,
to them?
that's that awful moment of panic when you realize
Yeah.
you don't know the location of something that's like kind of cool.
Yeah, so that set me off on a hunt for those things, which then set me off on totally tearing my garage apart and throwing away a bunch of stuff. And it's awesome because I have way more room in my garage now. I resorted things and stacked things differently and played Shove at the Warehouse game in there and got things where they need to be. And then eventually found the Neo Geo Pocket stuff in a place that I had totally forgotten that I had put them. It was in
safe.
No, it was in a completely different. Yeah, they're all safe.
not moldy or anything?
No, it was in a different plastic bin than I thought it would be in. And found a box full of sealed games along the way with a sealed copy of Worms Armageddon for
I
the
saw you-
N64, which is
Yeah.
apparently
Stuff.
like worth like kind of a lot of money, which was
talking-
weird.
And how do you find
We're not,
out?
we're not
like,
talking
that
magical chase money.
It's
are we?
you're not like
No, no.
actively searching on like eBay or
So
whatever
collectors,
for-
one of the nice things they added to collectors. So collectors, the pricing is really weird because they sell an app for your phone, a couple apps for your phone, depending on what you're looking for. They sell a monthly subscription to a website that lets you edit data there, and they sell a desktop app for Windows that seems to be the most fully featured of the three and the one I've had the best luck with of the different editing or whatever. So I went and signed up for that whole service. And what they do is when you link a game to their database, which their data is hit and miss. There's definitely some US games that ring up as European and sometimes their data is just not quite right.
Sure.
And that's a bummer. But you can submit changes and hopefully they do that. So they have a link to, I believe it's called pricecharting.com. Which is basically because eBay has pretty good game data as well that they license from another source. So when you look at an eBay auction for a game, it has a block of data that I think some of it might actually have come from GameSpot at one point, where you'll see like the GameSpot review. Like, so it's like, here's this thing I wrote 10 years ago. Wow. Amazon pages. Like I looked up some, I forget what it was now. Might have actually been BMX XXX because that's been coming up a lot lately. Because I'm a bad person, and looked at that Amazon page and it's like, here's the review I wrote for this game.
Wait, Amazon has GameSpot
Yeah,
reviews?
we totally licensed our data to Amazon for years,
What?
including reviews and stuff.
Wow,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, your words you have written, I guarantee,
yeah.
are somewhere on
Wow.
an Amazon
Okay.
store page. Anyway, this pricecharting.com interfaces with that data because eBay tracks that stuff pretty well. So if you're auctioning off a game, you attach it to that game as part of the auction. So they can look at eBay and know here's what all of these went for in these different conditions.
Okay.
Loose cartridge, complete in box, or new. And
Does it track trends or anything like that? Like all of a sudden, like Cyber Tiger is like on the rise. If you
go to price charting and look at it, you'll see like a price over the last 2 years or something. I think they will build you a graph if you want to see that shit. It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Like I never set out to collect sealed games.
Sure.
Like I think it's a weird, dumb thing. But also having worked in this line of work for a long time, you end up with games that you just don't get around to opening. Yep. Sometimes. And Worms,
especially Worms on the N64 would fall into that category.
Was apparently one of them. And I don't remember where so I found a box full of sealed games. Sealed PlayStation 1 and N64 games. 2 sealed copies of Cyber Tiger.
Nice.
And like NBA Showtime, and then like
Jet Force Gemini in there.
No Jet Force Gemini. No, nothing great.
Is Worms the standout?
Yeah, price wise, Worms was definitely the standout. A seal like $1,000, I think.
Wow.
I'd have to go back and look.
That's fucking nuts.
That's pretty good.
I also found a sealed copy of Cannon Spike for the Dreamcast, which is a few $100s.
Okay,
I don't know what that is.
It's
got a Cammy in it.
It's like kind of a dual joystick shooter with one joystick because it's a Dreamcast, and yeah, you can play as like Cammy and Charlie and
great,
and I think you unlock Mega Man.
It's like Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, basically.
Did I review Cannon Spike?
You might have
or preview. I think I covered
Check
that
Amazon.
game.
Yeah,
16, 17 years ago.
Yeah, it was a weird thing. But people remember it really fondly. So it like a lot of Dreamcast games have held value. Like going through this process has been interesting because I've because it throws these prices in your face as you're doing it. I'm like, oh man, wow, I had no idea that this game held any value. But like a lot of Dreamcast stuff is still up there.
Not all of it.
Definitely not all of it.
I found a sealed copy of Draconis. Does that ring a bell?
Sure.
Yeah. The Dreamcast.
Yeah. Like $4.
3 months ago, it was literally $4 or $5 sealed.
Nice.
I was like, I'm so bummed.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
we'll pay you to get rid of your copy.
Right.
Yeah, basically. So that's the other side effect is going through this stuff and realizing like we'll get stuff in mailbags and stuff like that people will send in, liberating themselves of the burden of owning video games, which is, believe me, smart. And as a result, as I am a monster, I go like, well, I should probably take this home. So now I have like 4 copies of Madden from the same year because, of course, people are going to send us a copy of Madden because why would they want it? And stuff like that. So it's the collection's gotten strange over the past few years, and I should probably just thin it out.
Yeah. Somebody sent in a sealed copy of that Prince PC thing. I don't think it's a game. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
I think that's over in the desk area somewhere.
Yeah.
I need to find that thing.
I
don't know if it's worth anything, but it's got sentimental value.
Someone sent in a sealed copy of the Bill Nye the Science Guy. Like it says like MPC certified.
Yeah.
It's like here's this multimedia
PC
like game thing.
I have a sealed copy of Cory in the House for the Game Boy.
Oh,
nice.
Hold on.
How'd you come by that?
It was a gift. It just kind of came to me.
Came into your life
right in front of me.
Yeah.
I don't know what the value
just a little
of those
serendipity.
is. Maybe you could put that into the
Yeah,
tracker
I mean maybe I'll
scan that thing
get my barcode scanner out
as soon as possible.
Very highly rated on Metacritic, so
Really?
it's one of the highest rated Game Boy Advance games on Metacritic from
highest,
users.
It's the highest
From
rated
users.
Cory in the House
users.
game.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's a very big difference.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So I spent hours on Sunday tearing everything apart and putting it all back together, and eventually found a bunch of crazy stuff, a bunch of Super Famicom soccer games that I own for some reason.
Feels good sometimes. Just go through stuff, filter.
Yeah,
clean
or
out.
like put it all in a place where it's like here now I know where it all is. It is all sorted. I know what it is.
Yeah.
And then I can eventually take the step of like, should I remove this stuff from my possession?
Yes.
Like sell some stuff, get rid of like throw some stuff, give some stuff away, like whatever. Yeah. So I'm trying to.
I mean, I'll take that copy of Worms. I'm gonna get it off your hands. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, sure.
not gonna play it.
I mean, I was just thinking I would just like throw it in the street and drive
I'll-
over it with
I'll-
a car.
I have an N64 in my parents' house. I can just go play it.
Yeah, cool. All right.
No, you got a use for it. Then,
Yeah,
sure.
sounds fine.
Yeah. Jason,
Yo, hey.
can you talk about Infinite yet?
Oh God, yes, I totally can.
Yeah?
And I forgot to bring up my notes.
Oh, shit.
So in
You
the
have notes?
meantime, We can talk about Guilty Gear a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Proceed to talk about Guilty Gear.
They just put out a demo yesterday for Revelator 2. It's not the game itself is not out yet,
Okay.
but they introduced 2 new characters, Baiken and Answer, who is the business ninja.
Is that business?
If you
Business
crouch,
sounds
his
fun.
idle animation is him just on his phone while he's fighting.
Actually,
is he wearing a
his
suit?
just normal
Oh,
like
yeah,
idle
he's just
animation,
always on
and
his phone.
he's constantly talking, and it's annoying as shit.
Is he on a suit? Or I mean, is he wearing a suit?
Well, he's a
Like he's a
business
business
ninja.
guy?
Fuck
He's,
yeah, he's
he's
got a
Chip's-
goddamn scarf and a business suit.
He's
Wow.
Chip's
All right.
right-hand man, right?
I think so. I don't know the
Chip's
backstory.
Chip's enough
Chip's
to be
enough.
ninja turned
Of
president.
course, yes, of course.
Right.
Everyone knows Mr. Enough.
But I played Baiken a little
Enough.
bit. You know, she's a returning character. But
Yeah.
Is this
this is a
this
cool
part
demo.
Of,
Like
is this
it'll
part of the Exerd
yes
business?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a
Exerd,
series?
Revelator.
Is that a what is the tier? What is the hierarchy of series? Okay, there's Guilty Gear.
Oh man,
Gear
like there's like
Exerd.
Accent Core and
Is
fucking
Exerd a franchise?
is a
and then-
Exerd is
and
the
then
newest,
Revelator like a sub franchise under
Was
that.
Revelator like the
Yes.
champion edition to Exerd?
sure
Like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah,
we're
'cause
gonna
it-
re-release Exerd with like some new shit.
new shit, new
And then
characters.
Revelator
Couple new
2
characters, small balance changes.
Yeah. So is this now a full sequel to Revelator, or is this kind of a
Not exactly.
turbo
Add
to its
on.
champion edition?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Kind of, yeah.
Two
like
more
that.
characters, a couple more small tweaks to.
Mhm.
Also,
Okay.
is this the previous game is the one that stealthed its way into a Game of the Year award, right?
It earned
Spearheaded
so,
its
yeah.
way.
Well,
Stealth.
Exerd
My
was
ass,
the game
like,
that was is a
fucking came
mind-blowing
marching
looking
in and
game.
deserved that
Yeah,
shit.
no, I'm not saying
Would
it
have
was
won sickest
undeserving.
guitar riffs.
I'm just
if
saying it
that
kind
was
of
a
flew under
category.
the radar. It dark horsed
We're all
its way.
big enough fans around
Okay.
here, so
Big's enough.
Yeah.
when
I will say that game like maintains like that graphic fidelity. Like, it still looks fucking
Is
good.
the new one got the same stuff going on?
Yeah. So same,
Same
art style,
engine.
like same engine and
Yeah.
shit like that. But just like God, it's still mind blowing. Sometimes just watching some of the animation and that how it looks 2D, but still running in a 3D
Everyone's
engine.
walk animations, like that alone, just watching people.
I was
like,
watching, dude. I was playing Baiken last night, and
Yeah.
like you crouch with her, and then she's like, "I'm too old for this shit." You let go of crouch, and just her standing animation takes like 5-6 frames, but she's like getting up on one knee, getting up on the other one. It's way more animation than is
so it's
necessary.
the Dark Souls of fighting games, is what I'm hearing. A lot of
Yeah.
animation priority. What are we
A
doing?
lot of
animation priority. Very tough to get into.
Yep.
Incredibly rewarding once you're a fan.
Oh.
Yeah. Fucking A. Like Street Fighter is like, what all the popular kids play like back in high school, like
Is
the
it?
jocks and stuff. Shut up.
Is it still?
Yeah,
It's
I
still
think
the- it's still the main, like,
it's still
game,
the
like,
go-to fighting.
Yeah.
at tournaments and stuff like that's still the main one. But Guilty Gear is like what all the cool
What about
kids
the Smash
played
Brothers?
for me? Oh, that that
Like if we really want to talk about what
they have special education courses.
Oh,
no.
that is
I know.
uncalled
No,
for.
I know Ben's a fan of Smash, so I apologize.
No, it's
But yeah, Guilty Gear is totally something I wanted to get into, and I was really excited to learn that Ben's a fan. So we're gonna have to sit down and
I like
Two
You're gonna
Guilty
have
Gear
to
players in this
quite a
room
bit.
now.
you got to show me some shit.
I liked
wanna
Guilty
get
Gear
good at that
1
game.
a whole lot, and then like it spun out of control so wildly after that.
Yeah.
With as soon as they added a dust button and all that other stuff. And there's a new fucking Blaze Blue on Steam
yeah.
that like
New BlazBlue.
I read
Central
the
Fiction?
description.
That was released on.
It was released on console already?
Yeah.
Okay, I was reading the description. It was like, finally, a cross between fighting games and visual novels. And I was like, wait, no,
The
this isn't
story
what
mode
anyone...
for those
No, I
games
know,
is
yeah,
completely impenetrable.
Yeah,
like I had to
it's-
review a couple Blaze Blues ago for Destructoid, and I got a lot of flack for saying like this story is impossible to follow because it's basically just like 6 animes crammed into a game. You also have to like do 1 round fighting game
Yeah.
matches of in between.
Sure, why not? And then also the fighting in that game is like still is like sort of impenetrable in its own way.
Yeah,
On top of that,
they've gotten really good about their tutorials. They have
Yeah.
some amazing tutorials in Exerd and Revelator. Just from like basic stuff, like here's the air dodge tutorial, and it's just you like air dodging through hoops and stuff, and like you kind of just like work your way back and forth on a stage as they throw more obstacles in the way. So they've gotten a lot better about if you want to learn this game, you can.
Right.
But it's still there's bursting is a thing in Guilty Gear, right? You use it, but there's 3 different kinds of bursts, right? There's
course there
offensive
are.
burst. There's Roman cancels.
Yeah, I mean,
yellow
let's-
Roman cancels, red Roman cancels, and green Roman cancels.
That's the new one.
Please don't flame me.
Nobody will.
We'll go to the Roman cancel concept page in the wiki, and we'll see.
Fill that thing
We'll
out.
see. We'll see.
Document this stuff.
Yeah,
It's
Guilty Gear Xrd is a beautiful game, and as
Right?
they kept adding more to it, like I wanted to get into it more than I did. It was definitely like, this is an amazing looking game that actually is really fun to play, and it seems like they kind of dialed it in a way that was like still like kind of accessible before it went off the rails. But
It's still fun to play, and like they've got the like stylish control stuff. You know, we can just mash out one button.
Oh,
and go
sure,
through a string
right,
of combos, and
It's actually pretty good for trying to introduce someone to the game.
yeah,
The tough part though is like really the characters. It's not like Street Fighter where you have. I mean, Street Fighter 5 got a little bit about this, but Ken and Ryu. If you play Ryu, you can play Ken.
Yeah.
And if you play Ryu, you can probably play most of the people on like
Right.
a lot of the shotos, a lot of the people who have a fireball and a dragon punch. Guilty Gear is like has such character diversity where
Oh,
there's
God, yeah.
here's Jacko. She makes little houses that minions come out of, and the minions get stronger when they get more.
So it's an
hits
RTS
out. Yeah,
also?
and she builds towers basically. And here's Biken. She's not Biken. Kim. She's a little girl who lives inside of a giant robot old man, and all of her fireballs you can control with the joystick after you shoot them, and just like
yeah, just like
It's learning
each
like a
character
different
is
game.
completely unique in a way that like that's a lot.
That's wild.
It always made it really hard for me to just find a character
Yeah.
in Guilty Gear that I wanted to stick with. So it would always be.
I would fall
Enough.
back on Chips Enough.
Or fucking
Soul.
Kaisuke.
soul bad guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Soul Bad Guy. There you
He
go.
seems to be everyone's
Another
go-to.
great name.
that one's actually very good.
Yeah, all right. It's,
Soul bad guy's a very good name.
but there are more than there. He's not
a good
the only
guy.
bad guy.
He's a good guy.
Well, that's fucking
He's
crazy.
the good guy.
This story is also impenetrable. Man.
I mean, just check his belt buckles. You'll see. He's a bad guy.
Not gonna.
That's where all the power is concentrated in the belt buckle.
I am not going
Exactly.
to check his belt buckle
So,
under any circumstances.
so speaking of like stylish controls, I did find my notes because this
Great.
happened. Like I checked out this game like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
A lot of it is. Whoa.
Oh, no.
So I made sure to take notes. So yeah, MVC, Infinite,
Oh shit.
as opposed to the 3v3 that 3 was. This is now a 2v2 fighter, and they're
Marvel
really
1.
hammering down.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
That's a positive change to me. Because I frequently will find that I don't like 3 characters.
I can't keep
That
track
seems
of
like a
3
problem.
characters.
And you fight if you can't make more than 2 fighting.
MVC3 is like
like
totally
But what about the
impenetrable.
combos, Jason?
They're totally some sick ass combos,
All
and
right.
yeah, I sat down with Combo Fiend, Peter
cool.
Rosas, and he showed off the a bunch of the game to me. They're doubling down on I mentioned the story mode last week, so they're give you a rich history as to why the Capcom and Marvel universes has collided.
Do they have the rage? Is it just the story from Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe?
I'm not allowed to say.
Okay.
No story spoilers.
All
I'm
right.
actually
I didn't see any
excited.
of these.
Like I love the really contrived
Yeah.
reasons that people come up with to have 2 different franchises meet. It's just
That shit's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's really it can be dumb in a really beautiful way if they do it right.
I'm reading that Ultron is teaming up with Sigma.
yeah, like physically.
take over the world?
Ultron
Literally.
Sigma.
Huh. Okay.
Why not?
Sure.
Why
mean,
wouldn't
X
you?
is in it.
Evil
right?
robots, right?
Yeah, evil robots. They want to.
The robot
They
masters.
typically want to take
bird-
over the world.
Birds of a feather.
But yeah, they're
If only,
making
if
things a
only there
little
were a
more
scrappy good robot.
accessible. While in 3, God, there's so many characters on screen, so much shit going on. I love watching that game, but it's impenetrable from like a gameplay standpoint. This seems a little more easy to digest. They've got an auto combo system now where you can just mash one button and it'll actually go into a few hits on the ground and it'll go into a launcher and keep mashing that button. You'll follow up and do another combo.
Oh, you don't even have to air jump.
You don't, no. Just just mash on that one
Super
button.
jump.
They'll do something to knock them down to the ground. You can tag in your partner pretty much at any point to continue combos. So that's a big change. With assists
Yeah.
before, you could tag do an assist, but then it was on a timer. This is much shorter, so you could tag your
So it's a
partner
full
in.
tag, not an assist.
yeah
Okay.
full tag and not necessarily an assist.
Jason,
So
can
it
I-
works a little bit like Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I
Yeah.
think. So
yeah.
they'll come in with like a hit to either
Oh,
bounce
okay.
them up or just like keep them on the ground. What's up?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Did you do any dragon punches?
yeah, I did actually.
How?
That's a good question. This is something they haven't quite nailed down yet. They don't know for
Wait
sure.
a minute,
if-
hang on. Yeah, they haven't quite nailed down the dragon punch yet. Like
Just the motion. So traditionally, forward down forward punch.
man.
In Marvel, now it's a down punch button. So it's a down motion as opposed to directional.
Okay,
So in case
so it's a
shit
Oscar
gets-
120% Burning Fest. They're just
Yes.
stealing the dragon punch motion from that game.
Yes.
Fine, great. That's a great game. Just- they should steal everything from that game.
I think so too.
Throw everything else away.
I'm all for this. Like reducing physical barriers
Yes.
to entry. is something.
Are you all for that and also all for the mash combo, like launcher, like that? That seems
with the caveat that you can probably do a better combo if you don't just mash.
Yeah.
That's how Guilty Gear handles it, right? You can do the auto combo and it does, let's say 25% to the opponent, but if you know the optimal combo, you can do 50%.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So in like MVC3, it really mattered what kind of assists that you had, to do specific combos and stuff. You'd need a specific character to get a specific kind of wall bounce or something like that. They've made that stuff a little more universal.
Cool.
Because you've only got 2v2. You've got a simpler roster or team, as it were. So they've made stuff where you can do cool shit with basically any character that you want.
This sounds like something that is going to draw the rage of some portion of the community.
Yeah,
I'm
so it
excited
leaked.
to see how they're going to perceive this.
The Dragon Punch thing leaked a little bit. That's why I asked. Like somebody had posted on Gaff about it.
This just sounds
I will say that-
tailor-made for fans to think that they're dumbing it down, basically.
that's
Like
one
between the auto
argument.
combo and that motion, like I've definitely
Which after
seen-
Street Fighter V, like a lot of Capcom fans are worried, because that game didn't have the smoothest launch and didn't have like the best business choices often.
Have they said what the business model is for this?
Yeah, they're going to do the season pass style stuff.
is
the
it
pre-order character.
Is it a $60 game out of the gate, though? It's
They've got like an ultimate edition for like $30 more, where you get the full season pass, 6 characters over the course of the rest of the year, and then you also get to play as one of the characters like straight out of the gate. I guess I don't know, but yeah, that's the same kind of model that they're doing for Street Fighter V.
Okay.
They're not going to have like cross-platform support. There's no CFN, which is great. I'm excited about that. 'Cause that was a big mess.
But like it was a mess, but also a mess. They kind of got there with it eventually, right? Like
They're running a beta right now.
for PC
soon
stuff.
for
for
the
the next.
Also, it seems like, why would you build your own network and then only use it for one game?
Right.
Like, why not?
Unless
why not then extend
maybe-
that to your next fighting
Well,
game?
maybe it's terrible and it can't be fixed. But like the stat tracking and replay stuff, at least conceptually, like that stuff seemed cool. Like I would expect another Capcom fighting game to pull all that stuff in at least, right?
That was my question. Is like, why go through this if you're not going to actually utilize it?
Like I picked a name for their dumb network. I would want that name to carry over and then get like a little bonus for like, hey, you stuck with us through Street Fighter V. Congratulations. You get an icon. It's Ken.
The whole point of that network was to facilitate the cross-platform stuff, right?
Yeah.
So,
They,
I mean,
you
for
didn't
the
make
most
a name.
part,
So if they're not
maybe-
doing cross-platform, maybe they just don't need it.
Yeah. Maybe it's just more trouble than it's
I
worth.
think it was just more trouble than it's
Yeah,
worth. It
you're
just
probably
didn't
right.
work out the way that they wanted to. But some other quick notes. Let's see, tags can be done anytime. You can reflect projectiles now with a perfect advancing guard, which is like super hard to do. So somebody throws a fireball, you do your advancing guard, but if you time it perfectly, it'll reflect the thing back.
Yeah.
to you.
Can they reflect it back after you
You
reflect
can
it?
play some Rose Ball. Yeah, totally.
yeah.
And we tried to do that, and like even Peter was having trouble with the timing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they might need to open up the window a little bit. We talked about the uppercut motion. That's about it. They've got like a short super jump, like you hit down, up, down in the air to get
Oh,
like
weird.
a King of Fighter, like
Yeah.
more horizontal.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, they're making some really smart changes to make it accessible. I think it was fun to play.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Like,
I could parse-
does it seem cool? Like, does it seem
Yeah.
like a good game? Or
Yeah, like it. Yeah, like I was a fan of like cross tech and just like some of the gameplay in that, not necessarily
Yeah.
the gems.
No,
and
not necessarily the
Yo,
gems.
I brought up gems.
Speaking
and
of gems.
that was a fucking dirty word in that office at that time. They,
Yikes.
every time I said gems, they corrected me. No, these are stones.
the power. No, are these Power Stones? Is this gonna be Power Stone 3? What are we doing?
This is
Must be
the
Infinity
Infinity Gauntlet.
Stones.
Yeah,
So
and the Infinity Gauntlet.
Marvel
and all that.
Heroes or not?
Oh
whatever
God,
the
this
name
is
of that
this is
game.
just going to be more cross-promotional stuff
you
for
would
the.
think, but some of the like the characters don't necessarily
When does-
match up with like the Marvel universe.
When
I
does
guess.
when does the Infinity War stuff start next year?
Sure.
Isn't it?
I
Well,
don't
Doctor
know.
Strange like they talk about it.
Yeah,
Like,
well, they've all
Oh, they
been building
have,
up to
and
it.
like
They've been building up to
Guardians
it.
of the
Yeah.
Galaxy,
years and years.
they've had
it's
stones in
right,
there as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
So like, a bunch of the Marvel licenses or movies
Are
have had
kinda heading in
Infinity
that.
stuff.
it's gonna be the big summer event.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Marvel
The
movies.
First Infinity War is out next year.
Um,
When is this out? This year?
Marvel, yeah,
Infinite?
Yeah,
Is out this
they,
year?
They said a month. I don't remember.
yeah. I forgot the release date, but
September maybe.
yeah. So those gems are like a loadout essentially. So like a power gem or something like that.
So prior
what
to
else?
starting the fight, you pick
Yes.
which.
And it's not like the previous Marvel games when like gems were flying out all
Yeah.
over you.
Oh,
You pick
okay.
it up and do a specific attack.
Reality
This-
gem. Like I'm not using it and then
Right.
making fucking spheres fly out of my body.
Right.
Forget it.
Kind of.
Oh.
Yeah, they give you a couple specific powers. like the time gem, I think encases like a person inside of a box when you activate it. So you can actually do some really, really crazy mix-ups with that. The power stuff you would think would just be like additional damage or something like that, but it actually like it helps you do like a wall bounces and shit like that. Your hits carry a lot of weight. They don't necessarily just do more damage, but a lot of custom combo stuff. It looks fucking neat. And just because you're limited to 2 characters doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have the same play style as somebody else that uses the same characters. It revolves around that gem an awful lot.
So is that the only thing you pick? You pick 2 characters and the gem?
Yes.
It's not. You're not picking an assist. So are there assists of any kind? There's no assist type or any of that stuff.
Not in the traditional sense.
That was the stuff that kind of lost me a lot of the time because it was like, because the game would always recommend like, here's the optimal assist for this character. I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I'm not good enough at this game yet to really understand what these choices are or why I care.
Right.
So
to use them
eventually I got
effectively
there,
with some real high level shit.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. And so eventually it was just like, well, I'm just going to make him throw a fireball because I can wrap my head around that because I'm an idiot. And then I would play that way. And yeah, so I don't know. Like, this sounds tentatively kind of all right with me.
I have high hopes for it. It looks great in motion. Like I said, it's pretty fun to play.
I liked the early Marvel games that Capcom made.
Yeah.
Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, Marvel vs. Street Fighter, even MVC 1. It was MVC 2 that was like, this game is incredible. I'm fucking garbage at it because they went there and I'm not ready to go there. So I don't know. This is weird because this sounds like something that would be like better for me, but probably way worse for anyone who liked 2 and 3.
Potentially.
Maybe.
Potentially.
I mean, I love 2 and 3, but I'm totally just any Marvel game at this point, I will take with good graces because I was certain that they weren't going to make any more after 3, especially with licensing and Disney and all that. I was just like, it's got to be a logistical nightmare.
Money brings people together, it turns out.
Yeah. But I think having a slightly more simplified version, like as long as they bring the barrier to entry down, and even if that means the like ceiling comes down a little bit, it's still gonna like. If it's well balanced enough, you'll see enough team diversity and you'll see enough like players picking counter characters, and kind of the meta will shift and evolve as long as they can keep a semi-decent balance going.
I think like just from a business angle, like honestly, your Marvel game probably should be a lot more accessible than it has been. Especially with the popularity of the Marvel characters, the Marvel universe, the movies, all the other stuff. Like there's a potential there to attract way more people than they're bringing in and have them stick with the game longer if you're able to make something that more people can at least, can have that kind of like lower entry point. Yeah. There are millions of people that would love to play a game like that.
Especially if they're fixing the stuff they botched with Street Fighter launch in terms of like having a story mode, having things for people to do who aren't there to go to Evo.
Exactly. Yeah. They'll need stuff like that. That's for sure.
They didn't get super deep into like features, but they did mention the cinematic story mode. There's going to be traditional like trials and combos. And,
6-button game,
like
4-button, what?
4-button,
okay,
ish. Yeah, but I mean, also like the tag button is specific as well. But
like three attacks and a tag.
2 punches. Yeah, 2 kicks.
Okay,
light, hard.
Yeah.
Like
and
that.
then okay.
And I forgot their so traditionally in like the Versus series, I forgot the chain. It was like light to light to heavy to heavy.
Right.
They actually go in a more box style, so they go light punch, heavy kick, and then.
Oh, okay. So
I think that's the way that it works. Yeah. But the point is, it's a little bit different than it has been in the past. It is universal.
Like 4 attack buttons make sense for a game you're making for consoles that you're trying to get people to get into. Yeah. Like people that aren't gonna have sticks like that.
People who are going to see the Marvel movies and then like, hey, let me pick this up too.
Yeah,
like hypers are easy to do. You can just do like an L1 R1 type thing, like both triggers, and then like tags are like both heavies at the same time.
Let's just go full Rising Thunder.
Oh God damn it! I was just thinking about.
I was driving in this morning thinking about that game.
Yeah, I love it.
Jason, I have a serious question. Do you think a Marvel game can survive without that Mango Sentinel?
Oh fuck! Yeah, I didn't see any mango colors. I would expect it to be on. They showed off like Hulk, but
I think there's going to be no X-Men in it, right?
Like, oh shit!
Because that's the rumor that the X-Men licensing is just like
it's all super fucked up
somewhere else, and they can't get any of it.
I'm going to be the guy that asks you to explain the in-joke. What's up with the Sentinel?
That's the best color for Sentinel.
It's that Mango Sentinel.
It's the best color for Sentinel, but it's probably the most classic Marvel video.
I was going to say, file it away with
Haagen-Dazs
and
and the Daigo video.
No. This is
specifically filed away
commentary.
with the Pringles stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, this isn't from the same video as
I
the Pringles
see.
and
Okay.
Wear Your Curly Mustache.
I see.
Fuck the Knicks.
Yeah,
Got it.
And yes,
Got
and,
it.
and, and fuck and not liking the Knicks.
Okay.
Which I have hated the Knicks since saw that video.
Yeah, no, I don't follow
Effective.
basketball,
I have
but I hate
had
the
that.
Knicks.
That video came out around the time that I decided that I was going to start downloading videos from YouTube, and I have had that video sitting in a directory since.
Great.
It
It's
is
a good
still
one
there.
to have
There's like four.
Just in case.
It's the fucking guy saying garbage day, and it's fucking.
Oh,
this.
yeah.
That's kind of
Do
it.
you have Play Third Strike? It's a good game.
No, I don't.
That video's gone
isn't-
from the internet
Oh
now.
fuck me!
He
Is
went,
it
he
really?
went to go get a real job, and so he's like, I'm deleting it.
Somebody
has to have it.
Someone
Somebody
has
has to
that.
have it.
Somebody has everything.
If you have Play Third Strike, it's a good game. Please send it to me.
Yeah.
Garbage Day is a good one to have
Yeah.
around.
Garbage is a good one.
We need archive the entire internet.
I used to have all the Fensler films.
I have
G.I. Joe.
I have all those.
Did you see somebody went out and
HDified them.
Yeah. Like
Really?
recut? Did G.I. Joe come out on Blu-ray
Yeah,
or was it just
they-
DVD?
One
might
like played before a movie that I went to or something.
Wow.
Were you going to some like art film crazy thing
Yeah,
where they
there
were
had to
like,
be
"Fuck
some-
man, we're screening all the Fensler shit."
I can't remember, but
Was
it
it
was
in
definitely.
town? It wasn't the Draft House, was
Oh,
it?
I think it was at the
Okay.
Draft House. Yeah.
That sounds right.
No, that makes sense. But yeah, somebody went and took HD versions of all those old episodes and recut the Fensler films in HD.
Oh, I want
it's
those.
amazing. All right.
The internet was so good once,
Yes. It
and
was.
now there's just so much of it. They went for quantity over quality. Used to be better. And here we are, a 3-hour podcast. Who can even listen to this? All right, go on.
It used to be better. All right. We desperately have to take another break. Let's take another break. We'll be right back.
It's Mother's Day for moms.
Wait, is it?
Mother's Day is coming up.
Oh, man. Every year it gets me.
Yeah.
This ad literally gets me every year.
You're like, oh man.
Yep.
Well, here is some information about some professional flowers that you could theoretically send your mother if you were so inclined. Some pro flowers. That's right. With Pro Flowers, they've got an offer here. And if you okay, let's break it down here. If you want to get 100 blooms for mom,
That's a lot.
100.
That sounds like more than I. Who has room for 100 blooms?
This free glass vase does,
okay.
and that offer starts at $19.99. You can go over to proflowers.com. You can click on the microphone in the top right corner and use the code BOMB to get this deal.
These flowers are the bomb. That's what you're saying.
That you get 100 blooms.
Okay.
100 blooms. When you send that this Mother's Day, it'll make a real impression. It comes with that free glass vase for just $19.99 plus shipping and handling.
Blooms for mom.
And if you really want to make a statement, you can upgrade to a premium vase and include gourmet chocolates for just $10 more.
Chocolates?
Chocolates.
The chocolates go in between the flowers? You got to pick them out of there? or-
I assume they come separately. I would not want to dig through
Yeah.
100 blooms looking for this chocolate. I just want to stuff that in my face.
You might end up accidentally eating flour.
That might not be. I don't know. People eat plants all the time.
You know.
What do cows do?
It's probably not going to kill you. But
It's probably not going to kill you. That's the motto. Choose the delivery date you want, and Pro Flowers is guaranteed to arrive fresh and beautiful and stay that way for at least 7 days, or your money back.
hey, beautify your mom's home a little bit.
That's right. Moms love
Send-
fresh
send some
flowers.
flowers.
Yeah, send some flowers. Don't forget, if you got other moms in your life,
Yeah.
grandmothers, wives, other mother figures, whoever they may
Yeah.
be.
Anybody that likes flowers, even yourself.
Yeah.
Get yourself.
Are
some
you a
flowers.
mother?
Maybe.
Get yourself some flowers.
Would I have to tell you?
100 blooms for mom. If you're a mom, you have to tell me.
Okay.
That's the law.
Yeah.
You can get those 100 blooms for mom by going to proflowers.com, click the microphone, and type in BOMB. And you can get this deal right now.
All right. Before we move on to the news, we can talk about Quake Champions
Yeah,
this week.
Oh yeah, finally, yeah.
Some amount of the embargo was lifted on that.
I guess, yeah.
Sort of.
This is a weird
Yeah.
exchange. Anyway, yes.
Can't live stream it yet, but we can talk about.
But we have videos up on the website.
We
Yeah,
have
a couple
we do a
pre-recorded
live
videos.
reenactment
Do
of it?
not live stream those videos.
Do not. Whatever you do, don't put
Yeah.
those. Yeah. I'm tentatively bullish on that thing for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It plays well.
yeah, it seems like a decent arena shooter.
Yeah.
I would like to see some more maps.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know. They haven't announced like
Yeah.
They definitely haven't announced like how many maps. We don't even seem to be sure that this is all the characters. I think there are 8 characters.
I haven't
in the
been
beta
keeping.
Right now.
I have not been keeping super close tabs on it.
Yeah, I haven't
like,
either.
They keep sending out emails.
Yeah.
That's just like, here's another trailer video about one of the characters.
They've been trickling out character bios here and there.
Yeah.
But, like the character ballot stuff is the thing I'm not sure about yet. But the way the beta is structured, you can't really sample all the characters very easily.
Right.
So I haven't tried more than a couple of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a free-to-play game, and they're going to be selling characters for real currency, and then you can rent characters using the grind currency.
Yeah.
So what kind of like powers do the characters have?
So everybody's got a unique amount of like maximum health. I think
Armor and
also
speed.
maximum armor, and then they have a default.
Yeah.
They all have a different default.
They don't
move
have
speed.
like abilities.
No,
Yeah,
they
there
absolutely
are passive abilities and actives.
actives.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
like Quake Guy takes less self damage.
Yeah.
So
So
he
he
can
can
rocket
jump.
jump, better rocket
Yep.
jumps. And then his active ability is he throws this slipgate grenade thing that you can then hit the button again to teleport to that location.
Yeah.
Or if it hits a guy, it does quite a bit of damage.
Can
So-
you telefrag him?
no, because if the ball hits him, it kills him. So it's you kind of.
I mean, I guess that's cool.
it's kind of a
but-
telefrag, I guess. But yeah. If it gets close enough and then you pop it, it would still telefrag. I guess.
throw it like above him, and
Yeah.
then suddenly your legs are in his body.
Yeah. No, I think you would just kind of land on top of him and then be playing like that jailbreak, jump up and down, get him out stuff.
Not your friend.
Yeah, some of the characters have pretty serious special abilities. Like there's
Okay.
the one of the heavier, beefier guys literally just pops a giant shield like Overwatch style and just
Yeah.
absorbs all damage. You know, like it's some pretty surprising stuff for in a Quake setting. You know?
Okay. Cool.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
It's going to be hard to say until the game is live and people have gotten all the characters and you are seeing a good mix of them on a regular basis. Because right now, yeah, it's like everybody started with just the Quake guy in that beta, and nobody really had time to unlock a bunch of stuff on a long-term basis.
I feel like and also like they've been running these beta weekends for a while, so it's like been Thursday to Sunday, and I just haven't had a ton of time to put into it.
The first week that we thought we were going to be able to record stuff, it didn't go up till Friday, so it's like we have been trying to like cram in matches when the beta is live and get stuff recorded. Like we just have not been able to spend the time with it that we needed to really say for sure if it's any good.
Yeah,
but I hope it's good.
But
It
it
seems
looks very nice.
promising.
I think it runs
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
Like they've given the game a character and personality that it didn't have before. They've written lines of dialogue for the characters,
Which seem decent
yeah.
so far.
Yeah,
Alright.
so
And
like
stuff I've
having Quake Guy be like this incredibly weary,
Yeah, he's
just
real
like
hangdog.
like
really?
he's talking like someone who's been trapped in a fucking deathmatch game for
so
20
he's not
years.
like talking like some badass
No.
dude guy.
No. Instead, it's this badass like, I can't believe. Oh God, please end this. Oh, maybe this is it for me. And just like this real kind of hangdog. It's good, though repetitive. Like it probably needs more lines.
Yeah.
I don't know. They've got 3 modes in that beta so far. They got deathmatch, team deathmatch, and then a dual mode.
One-on-one.
It's a one-on-one, but you have to have 3 characters. So you play 3 rounds. And each round ends when you kill all 3 of the other the teams, the other players.
Was that why there's the 3 character requirement?
Yes.
Because you play each
you
one
have,
of
you
them?
have to play each one of
Okay.
them. So
That's pretty cool.
That's things that are kind of make people want to play additional characters.
But it's
That seems
one-on-one on the full-size maps. So it's not.
Yeah,
it's, not
so
it's
that's-
not Rocket Arena. It's not like a
Yeah.
small
Yeah.
enclosed
So
area.
It's not like the Overwatch like 3v3 small little map.
No, it's still the full size map.
I
which,
think what
which
it is
kind
is
of
Pro Quake 3, right? Like that's how
Yeah.
Pro Quake 3 is
yeah.
played
Yeah.
is one-on-one on big maps.
Do you think Fatality has 3 good characters in them?
I don't know.
we'll find out. Hopefully,
we'll find out.
Hopefully,
Get that guy-
hopefully he got in the beta. I
Get
don't
that
know.
guy to put a shirt on and sit down and try it.
Yeah, right. Never put a shirt on. He's like 10% worse at the game. I guarantee.
It holds
it.
back his.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like
You
some
gotta
kind
be
of
out
some
there.
kind of reverse Samson sort of situation
Definitely.
where having
Yeah.
a shirt on limits him. Yeah.
He's got to be exposed to the elements, to the sun. Just like the sun comes into his pores, and then he's like a plant.
He's a human boktai.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's. I don't know. I go back and forth on it.
Yeah.
Where like the things I like about it are all the things that are present in games like Quake Live or just straight up Quake 3. So there's part of me that's like, well, why wouldn't I just go back and play that? And the answer is, well, this is fun and new.
Yeah.
Which is not always a great answer, but
I mean, there are some differences. Like you can choose. There are 3 starting weapons you can choose from. There's the Quake 3 machine gun. There's a single shot shotgun, and then what is it? It's
nail gun.
like kind of a piddly nail gun. So like there are variances there. Well, I guess they even added that to Quake Live, didn't they? They added like loadout stuff toward the end. There was that last update to Quake Live where they added some, like there was that second machine gun.
But they added that. I think that's just like added to the maps. I don't know that that's a loadout. It might.
There are differences.
I'd have to go back.
There are
It's been a
things
while.
about this that are unique to this game that are not in Quake 3.
Can
Like,
you-
that, you know,
Yes.
Can you run a no cusses server like me and Nick used to do out
Sadly,
of the Whiskey
no.
Media
Yeah,
office?
no, it's there's
for
just a
Quake
big
Live?
play button. And
Then how are you going to get your cuss-free server?
well, you're gonna have to just join every game and let people know up front. During there's a minute-long warm-up, which is
Oh,
like
that's enough
an
time.
insane amount of time.
Yeah.
but it's plenty of time to say, "Hey guys, look, just please,
Just
Keep it clean.
do it for me.
no cusses."
and that's after like 30 seconds of the camera sort of like panning over a grid of the characters that are in the
Yeah,
match and
this
stuff.
is a
Like
long-
it takes a long time.
It's
to
a
go
beta,
from
you know.
match to
Like,
match. Yeah,
I'd like
they-
to think that, like, and I know every weekend of the beta they send out another survey going like, "So, what do you think?"
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll get there. I mean, I don't know. There's something to it. There's definitely something to it.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be kind of neat. But like I said, like the things I really do like about it are things that have been in Quake for years, and there are still people playing some of those other Quake games. So it's like, I don't know. And also, like one of the things I really like about Quake is mods and maps and just user created stuff.
Yeah.
So if this isn't going to support that, I guess we don't know one way or
What's
the
a
other.
loot box scenario like?
Every time you level up, you get a loot box,
Yeah.
and you open it, and there are plenty of armor shaders to change your color,
Yeah.
and then there are
Which cosmetic.
Are there
cosmetic
taunts?
No taunts.
No taunts.
Actually,
Voice
yeah.
lines.
It's 2017.
Now that you mentioned it, there aren't.
Yeah,
A bunch of cosmetic items though.
yeah. So like you can save up a third currency to unlock the Quake 1 rocket launcher, which is just a cosmetic difference,
Or the Quake 2 railgun. Like they have classic weapon models
cool.
in there, which is cool. But also, I think the current weapon models are super generic. They just have no personality to them. So I desperately want those weapon models just to make them look cool. you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's not just
I think I want to know what they're gonna kind of have at their whatever they consider launch,
Yeah.
and I wonder if now that they're letting people talk about it, if that means they're getting closer to a more open beta.
Yeah, I hope so. I want this. I will spend time with this when it's out for real, and I can be assured like my progress isn't going to be wiped and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's definitely good enough for that.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't know how the character stuff is going to go long term for me.
I'm hot and cold on it. Like
Yeah.
the first weekend I played it, I was like, okay, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool. And then next weekend the beta went back up, and I played it. And went like, actually, I think I might be totally done with this thing already.
Yeah.
And then third weekend, I was like, then we recorded the videos, and I was like,
That's the entire
that's
video.
basically
Yeah.
The game took away.
conversation
It was
went-
so
yeah.
good that you just couldn't form words.
Speechless.
anymore.
yeah, I just don't even know.
babbling nonsense.
Yeah, it's yeah.
it's
I don't
good.
know. I'm
It's good.
really torn about it. It is not bad.
I mean, I
will
think
say that.
the places where I get annoyed are like like the hoverboard dude, Anarchy, I think.
Yeah.
Is the guy with hoverboard. Like he's got his ult makes him move super fast, and all of a sudden like my timing on like leading rockets and stuff is just like straight out the
sure.
window
So,
whenever that guy.
I've
is
Can
not
you
running.
think
played-
of like
I've
a
not
hard
played-
counter to that? Like
So,
you can switch between characters mid-match, can't you?
But then
yeah,
you
I
would
believe
respawn
so.
and die. So it's
Yeah.
kinda, maybe. But I think when he pops that ability, he can no longer shoot.
Oh,
So it really is just an escape.
I'm sure there are balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are counterbalances to all these things, but
Plus, if you play against long enough, you'll be able
and
to
you'll get used to
realize
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bigger point is just like I don't know if I'm looking for that amount of variability in the Quake experience. you
Sure.
know?
Right.
You're
There's-
looking to do some rocket jumps.
Yes,
You're
like there
looking
was a
to-
purity to Quake 1, you know, like you get in there, you get the rocket launcher, you start camping the red armor and the quad damage, and you're good, you know, like that's kind of what I like about it.
You build your loop and run it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then occasionally you turn around and run it the opposite
Yeah.
way just to
So-
fuck people.
So like, I mean, even when they first announced this thing, I was like, I don't know if I want Quake to turn into a hero shooter. I'm not quite sure that's
Yeah.
what I'm looking for in that experience. but-
Right. And this seems like it is, they did the minimal things to make it that.
Yeah, like it's not
like
so
it's-
far
it's
in that
not so
direction. that- yeah,
overbearing.
it's not
Yeah.
not irredeemable. But
But I
like,
wonder if like, they've still got modes to announce. If you
Yeah.
if you look at like what their launcher screen, it looks like they would have 2 more modes. Like I wonder if they eventually have a
3
mode
more, I
that's
think. I
like,
think there's
is
6
there- okay,
total,
you're right,
yeah.
you're right. I wonder if there's eventually a mode that's like you can only have one version of this character
it's-
here.
Somebody asked Tim Willits about that in an interview like some months ago, and he hemmed and hawed about it. He wouldn't commit either way.
Yeah.
But they have not flat out said no, we will not have that mode in there. So
Yeah. But
I
I don't know
hope
if
they do.
I don't know if that matters. Like I wonder if team composition will matter in a team game enough. Like if these abilities matter enough to make that work. If they add CTF, then a fast character is going to matter, right?
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Or a slow character with a shield that can push that character up
Right.
the flag.
I guess the
Like-
shield. The shield is like the obvious test case for like, does this ability synergize with somebody else's ability?
Right.
But I'm trying to think what that would be.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. We haven't had enough time where I even remember everybody's like super ability right now.
Totally,
Like the beta has just been up and down so much.
Yeah, it's there's some neat ideas in there, and I hope it pans out. I would be excited for that thing to come out and be like really good, and have a lot of maps and all that. That'd be fun.
The shooting and the movement feel good. Like that's they nailed that stuff at least.
Yeah,
like that's good. All right, let's move into some news for the week. Ready. Hair trigger.
Yep.
On the news.
Finger on the trigger.
Yeah. The last hour he's been hovering over.
I know.
Fucking come on.
Yeah, right.
I am so sore. God.
Nintendo announced a new 3DS.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
And by 3DS, I mean 2DS.
It looks good.
But it's a clamshell. Yeah, it's the folding 3DS design. Just with
I thought the
that
2DS
white
was
one.
like to prevent kids from breaking shit.
Yeah,
now you're gonna give them a
maybe they
hinge?
finally came up with a good, sturdy, kid-proof hinge. I don't know.
Well, it's not necessarily kid-proof. It's more like think about the Game Boy Micro. Think about that end of life cycle. Let's put one of these out for as cheaply as we can make them these days, and get a one last batch out there.
This one's $150. So I think the current 2DS is $99.
The current 2DS is I want to say it's $89 or maybe even $79 in some cases, but I could be wrong. And then like the default regular 3DS, I think is still like $200.
Yeah, I believe that's right. So this is in the middle of that, which I guess
no 3D,
is reasonable. Yeah,
it's a 2DS.
Yeah, so it literally looks like a 3DS. In fact, it is a new 3DS with everything but the 3D. Like it's got the new
processor.
It's got the faster.
Okay. The right thumbstick.
Right thumbstick.
It's got the thumbstick.
It's got the ZLZR.
It's got the extra buttons. It's got the faster. Like
for all those games that use that stuff.
Right?
Hey man.
Thank God. How am I going to play?
Yep.
Kiddick? I don't even know.
Hyrule Warriors.
Sure. Yeah. How am I going to play Hyrule Warriors Legends? Legends? No, that was the Wii. Legacy.
I think that's kind of all there is to know about it. It looks nice. It's got some nice
one
color
up.
scheme. It's like the US one that's announced is like black with blue trim.
I think that white one for Japan looks really like a lot
They
better.
announced one in
that
Japan
one's
that's like
real cool.
white with gold trim that also looks really cool.
Yeah.
But it's a 2DS.
I bought one of the small new Nintendo 3DSs that they did for Black Friday.
Yeah.
And I don't need any more 3DSs.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I mean, if you don't
I'm
have
better
one,
than good.
if
I have
you-
too many 3DSs.
Yeah, if you
in
don't
my
have
life.
one, it's not like the games don't require 3D. So if you don't
Yeah.
care about 3D, this is a pretty good deal.
My volume slider on my original Gen 3DS broke, so this is like a perfect. I started playing the new Phoenix Wright, and I'm like, this game doesn't work without sound.
Oh, yeah.
It's
no
half
good.
the fun is hearing him scream objections. So
Of course.
now I can pick one up.
Yeah, that seems like a good excuse.
Yeah, it makes sense for them to do kind of one last model of this thing as they start to, because they put out a trailer for it and they're like, and games, and it's like Pikmin.
Yeah,
and,
hey Pikmin and Metopia are coming out. So this is all July 28th. That's when those two games and this thing come out.
Okay, and then the rest of that trailer was like, and there are also a lot of 3DS games already. So it really had this feel of just like, hey, wrap it up.
Yeah. If you didn't get one of these, now's the time.
These probably won't be the last two 3DS games to be released or anything crazy like that. But watching that trailer, it definitely felt like, hey, we know supply has been weird for a while. We know there's been maybe some security issues with the units that are in the marketplace. So we're gonna push a firmware update and put these out there. Fuck everybody. This is it. Get these.
Buy a Switch.
Get these, and also buy a Switch. Stop fucking around.
We have a new thing that is also portable.
Yeah. Yeah, this makes sense in that context, I guess, and it's a nice looking piece of hardware.
Yeah,
So I would like to see one in person, but I don't know that I feel a need to own one.
Yeah. Nintendo had a bunch of financials come out. They've sold pretty close to 3 million Switches already.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Which is, let's see, I'm trying to find the breakdown here.
That's a lot.
Mostly, I think
That's
North
the
America
breakdown.
is the biggest territory. Let's see. Oh, these numbers are a giant jumble.
Yeah, they always are.
I can't, it's... Anyway, they sold a lot. Also, globally, it's under 1-to-1, but in the US, they have sold more copies of Zelda than they have Switches.
Right. Yeah.
They have an over 1-to-1 attach rate for Zelda.
Well, if you think about it, that's probably Matt Rory's fault because he bought a copy of Zelda to play on the Office Switch.
Yeah, that's true.
But it evened out because I bought a Switch and I bought a copy from him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We're not part of the problem.
No, I guess not.
All right.
I have seen at least one forum post of somebody who said that like they showed up to get a Switch early on and couldn't, and they were just like, might as well just buy Zelda.
Right.
I'm sure I'll get one eventually.
Yeah, that'll even out eventually.
Yeah.
Well, that was what you bought. That what did you buy? Super Mario Galaxy 2?
Yeah, I one I think.
And then never bought a Wii.
Yes, I had a sealed copy that I bought from GameStop for years, and then I finally got a Wii U and was able to play it. Yeah. I don't know. I thought I would get a Wii at some point.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, it was like, maybe I'm good.
Yeah.
We had it in the office. I played most of the games.
Yeah.
They are selling Switches as fast as they can make them. To the point that they have started, I guess they have since stopped this, but briefly they were shipping Switches on airplanes to get them to stores.
Fast.
Normally,
there quickly.
Normally they ship they ship consoles via cargo ship.
Yeah.
Across the ocean.
Slow boat.
It's like that picture with all the falcons in the seats of the plane. Have you seen that? There's like a Saudi prince spot. Just like a Switch in every seat. Just one
just a cabin full of Switches belted into each seat. There's a quote from an analyst at Ace Research in here that says that could add up to $45 cost per unit of shipping to ship it on an airplane. So
wow. Well,
but that's how well it was selling, that they were desperate to get them into stores.
They put
thing's doing gangbusters.
It looks like they put another batch into stores alongside Mario Kart.
Okay.
Like that was kind of the latest push. Was that game came out and they were like, hey, we want to make sure we have some hardware out there. And it seems like Mario Kart is doing
I think it's the
quite
best
well.
selling Mario Kart launch.
fastest selling. Yeah.
I mean, it's considering how many people didn't get Wii U's, like that's a hell of a deal.
Yeah.
Like it's like, here is the game from last gen, but it looks better. It's got all the DLC
Battle
and
mode.
we added other new stuff to it.
It definitely speaks to just like the way, like whatever people want a Switch.
Yeah.
Like even if it's not always 100% rational why they didn't want a Wii U but they want a Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever, they've made the Switch a desirable product, and whatever, it's worth it. Like I think it actually is totally fine that all this is happening.
I got into a conversation with some people while we were playing Battlegrounds over the weekend about how worthwhile the Wii U was as a console to own. And I looked at
it is the preferred platform to play Super Mario Maker. So done.
I think we've even talked about this before. Like you could name a dozen.
Definitely at this point.
Totally,
yeah.
And like that kind
of
that just led to a conversation of like, okay, how many games that are worthwhile to you do you have to say that a console was worth buying?
Right.
Like, I don't know,
6.
10? 6? Is that your number?
That's my number.
Yeah.
That's why I'm waiting on the
Dude,
Switch.
there are way more than 6 good Wii U games.
It depends how
Come
you
on.
define good.
Come on.
All right. There's Super Mario Maker.
Mario Maker, Bayonetta 2,
Bayonetta 2.
Mario 3D World. I always it was World on the Wii U. That game's awesome.
Yeah.
That game's fantastic.
It's good.
It's a Mario. It's a him.
That's what he says.
It's a him, Mario.
He says it's a Mario.
That's better than just a Mario.
Nintendo Land. No.
Smash 4, I guess.
If you're into that sort of
If you're
thing.
into that. A lot of people swear by Wonderful 101.
Right. Yeah.
See, you're already just
Tokyo
struggling
Mirage
so hard.
Sessions seems to be one, but now we're just digging into like
there's like Xenoblade.
There's Chronicles.
I'm trying to avoid getting into the downloadables yet because I'm trying to think about disc
Meme
games.
Run. Sadly, no longer available.
Yeah.
So if people want to buy my Wii U that has
Most
Meme
of-
Run pre-installed,
most
it's
elusive.
now $25,000.
There's a decent number of downloadable. Like Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
I like the NES remix stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff was neat.
It was not what it should have. It could have been so much more.
No, you're right.
Also, that game came out on 3DS in some capacity as well.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying the Wii U lineup was not thin because it was. But,
Yeah,
like,
but
there's just barely enough
I think
stuff.
depending on the price, if you could find a good used Wii U, I think there's a great
Splatoon.
time to be had.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Splatoon,
Splatoon, of course.
Splatoon.
Yeah.
Pikmin 3.
I have a Wii U, and I have 2 games for it, and one of them Splatoon.
Yeah. What's the other one?
That's a little rougher.
It's Bayonetta 2.
Okay.
Also, goddammit, I'm trying to justify having bought a Wii U. Like I'm playing Zelda on it. So,
yeah.
If you rope that in, like it just barely justifies.
But also, I
itself.
think if you're buying a console today,
Oh,
I
dude.
wouldn't say like, hey,
No.
go get a Wii U. Definitely, there's a great back catalog. I'd be like,
get a Switch.
fucking buy a Switch.
Get a Switch. Like that's not even a
I'm
question.
starting to see more Switches just like on the train and on
Oh,
the
really?
bus.
Huh.
Really?
Yeah. I probably saw one over the course of a month, but now last month I've seen like at least 3 or 4.
I've brought mine onto 4 flights now and have never seen another one, and get people looking at me like I'm fucking from space.
I don't think I would.
What is that?
Whenever I end up getting one, I don't think I would play it on the bus.
I would see it more commonly when I was taking like a commuter bus that's a straight shot from my neighborhood to downtown without any stops.
Yeah. I think I would feel a little nervous having it out on the bus.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But like I see it on BART. I see people with just like their Switch out on a crowded train, just playing it.
It's like the T-shirt says, "Bust BART out with your Switch out."
It's my favorite T-shirt.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, well, go check out my Teespring.
Yep. Let's just go play some fucking, what's the name of that Jackbox T-shirt game? Just make your own.
Yeah.
We can engineer this situation. We can make this happen. I
like that. That's the only way to create a custom shirt in your mind.
Yeah.
Play the Jackbox game.
Well, how else am I going to generate the art if I don't draw it on my phone?
Exactly. And have somebody else write the caption.
Exactly, yeah, and just make it match together. Okay, we did it. No, pick this one because we want to make this shirt.
Come on, guys.
It's the only way.
I hear it's a nice shirt.
You know what? I
hear it's a quality shirt.
It is a for the price.
Yeah.
And it's it's a good shirt.
That's good. I think that's it for Nintendo like financials and stuff.
Yeah.
They talked about that first Zelda DLC.
Right.
A press release last night.
Yeah.
Now we know what the new map feature is.
Oh, what is it? What is it?
Described. It actually, like in all seriousness, sounds completely awesome. I wish it was in the game right now.
Okay.
It's a what is the name of it? Heroes Path Mode, which is a 200-hour log of everywhere you have gone on the map.
What? Why?
Oh,
because like if you're like me and you were away from that game for like weeks at a time and came back to it, you can see like everywhere you've gone.
Yeah, that's mildly interesting once.
It would be super useful for me right
But
now.
can't you just look at like where there are no fast travel points on the map and know that you didn't know that there are probably
but then there are like
shrines to find?
shrines around. Sometimes you fast travel to a place and you only explore like
Yeah,
the
that's the
eastern
thing.
half of the thing, and
Yeah.
then you find another shrine. and you
There
keep
are
going
vast
that way.
swaths of my map that I have, like I've gotten the tower there, but I don't have a bunch of shrines filled in, and I don't know what I've done there because it's been weeks.
Yeah, I'm in an exact same
But that's what I'm saying. If there are no fast travel points in an area, you know you probably need to go back there because there's probably some shrines.
Sure, but when you're doing cleanup and like looking for shrines, you might realize like, oh, I went to this fast travel point, but I didn't.
It's not just shrines. Like there are just enough things that characters tell you about in that game that don't then get entered into your quest log.
True.
Like I'm trying to think. I can't think of an example right now, but it's been like ages where since I played it, where I'm like, okay, who's the guy that will pay me a premium for prime meat? Like I would love to sort of be able to retrace my steps.
Like a log of your footsteps seems like a bad way to do that.
I don't know.
Like something where you could mark like more map icons, like a map icon for prime meat might be better.
I'm trying to
being able to label map icons would be huge.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any annotation stuff to go along with it. It doesn't look like it. It sounds like it's just a big path that you can scroll through chronologically to see where you went.
So here's my pro tip that I just came up with just now for how you should use the map.
Is this a new segment?
It's a new segment called the I Just Solved Your Problem.
Okay.
Play the I Just Solved Your Problem music. You got, no? Well,
I don't have any.
all right.
I'll sing it.
It's more poignant this way.
Okay. I Just Solved Your Problem.
Yeah.
Jeff will fix it for you.
Okay.
Push the screenshot button, then go out to the album, and then write text on the screenshot that says, "This is where Prime Meat Man is." There's a screenshot button on the Switch. You should buy a Switch.
Oh, right. I've seen people post all the screenshots with little text.
Yeah, so it has a built-in like feature that lets you write big text on it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. At the time, I didn't know I was going to put the game down for a month, so I didn't think I was going to forget where that dude is.
That's on you, man.
Well, it sounds like Jeff solved your problem.
That's right. Problem
Play the
solved.
outro.
That's right. Wrap it up.
See you next week. There's a bunch of other stuff in that DLC, but it's all kind of nuts and bolts stuff. You can drop your own fast travel point now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a mask that helps you find Korok seeds. I don't know. Whatever.
That seems that's
cool.
Okay.
There's some 45.
Something about a hard mode.
Yeah, there's a hard mode. Yeah, it raises like the quote rank of all the enemies, like from I forget what the hierarchy is from, like red to blue to black or whatever. It makes all the enemies in the game regain health over time.
Okay,
so you have to fight them fast.
That's kind of cool.
To kill them. It does a bunch of.
That's cool against those like larger, bowl dudes. I forget the name of them. You see the first one who lives on top of the hill with all the electric arrows.
Oh, the Lionels.
Lionels.
Yeah.
Man, fuck those guys.
Makes your stealth worse. Like it makes you more noisy, so you can't sneak as well. Just a bunch of stuff like that. A bunch of new gear, new weapons and armor and stuff.
Is there one that makes lightning go away?
Oh, dude. I might be reaching.
It's called a tingle suit. It's a big old rubber suit.
I might be reaching the limits of my patience for rain and storms interrupting the thing that I'm doing in that game.
Yeah.
Like, it may have just happened one too many times where it's like, well, I'm just going to stand here for 3 minutes till it stops raining so I can climb this thing. Or I was doing where you get to the tech lab and the guy wants you to carry the flame a long distance.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, it's raining right now, so you can't do it.
I made it
like,
within
great.
sight of his fucking
Oh,
tower
and it
with
started
the
raining?
thing, and then it went through, like, it's got the little log of the next 3 weather phases.
Yep.
They all turned into thunderstorms.
That happened to me.
And I was like, I'm going to
that
fucking
exact
fast
thing
travel out
happened
of
to
here
me,
and go
yeah.
do something else because I literally can't finish this quest.
I fast traveled to the kitchen and made a sandwich while the weather passed.
Okay. That's a valid
Wait, you can
strategy.
fast travel to your kitchen?
Oh yeah. I put a point there so I can just warp there whenever.
Man, never move that thing. I don't know. That first DLC sounds kind of interesting. I might grab that because I'll probably still be playing that game in summer when it comes out.
Part of the paid season pass.
Yeah, you
So-
can only
Gotcha.
get that by paying the $20 season pass fee.
So you can't just buy it.
You can't buy that
individually.
piecemeal. But the second DLC sounds like the one you really want anyway. So
Right.
you
May as well get it.
they showed that new Call of Duty game.
Right.
There was a trailer out. of
World War II.
Call of Duty World War II.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch that?
Yeah. I watched some of that stuff. They had a longer kind of live reveal that
Yes.
I didn't watch that whole thing because it just didn't need to watch them say the words "boots on the ground" over and over
I
again.
understand. They said that phrase
And
quite a bit.
yeah, I mean it's they're gonna have a co-op campaign from the sounds of things. They're going to do a zombies mode, and then they're also calling it super authentic. They're like, this is going to be a very authentic experience.
Yeah.
Let's talk about zombies.
Well,
so whatever. So
weird.
so they're making a Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like that, it seems like that's what they're making.
I mean, it
and
sounds
they spent
like-
a lot of time talking about campaign,
Yeah.
and then talked about what they like in vague terms about some of the multiplayer stuff, but they didn't necessarily get into it. There's an animated GIF I saw.
Okay.
All good discussion starts with that sentence. Where it was like, and this came from some of the reveal footage, I believe, where it was like, it kind of panned up. So they've got like a town where players can run around from the looks of it, like a multiplayer focused like barracks mode. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
So
It's
not,
like
not to get ahead of
it was like Destiny's Tower
ourselves,
or something.
but yes,
I don't
there's
know.
there's an interview on Glixel that they did with several of the people on the team that yes, they literally compare it to the tower from Destiny.
Yeah.
As like a multiplayer home base that you go back
Right.
to do stuff
And so
in between matches.
that sounds fascinating,
Kinda.
but it depends on what the stuff you can do is.
Yeah.
If it is voice chat with other Call of Duty players, then I might not need that.
Having voice chatted with a large number of Battlegrounds players recently, I can say definitively I don't want that.
Okay,
I want
yeah,
that.
I bet.
That's the authentic World War II experience.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
troops on the ground
Well,
just like
there are a lot of-
screaming at each other's mothers and
there-
yelling at a baby to
There
quiet
are
down.
Yeah.
there are a lot of people talking about Hitler, so fair
enough.
Authentic
Yeah.
in that way.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm curious to see how they go with it. Like originally, I was pretty turned off just by the concept of World War II, just because those guns have not been the most fun to fire.
I'm fine with that stuff.
Like
I'm
weapon
not worried
attachments
about
and stuff. The fiddly bits of weapon customization that's something I like about Call of Duty.
Well, you're probably coming at it from a multiplayer angle.
Yes,
I'm guessing.
but single player, whatever. It'll be fine. They'll tell their story. I'm sure it'll be totally fine.
Yeah, but story-wise, I mean, like they're opening with the Normandy landing again. It's like that's kind of
Yeah,
the
they
cliche
did say it
World
was
War
all
II.
European theater.
Yeah, like that's all stuff that's
so-
been covered.
Can I get an M1 Garand?
I mean, literally, like the logo fucking reveals to the ping noise from the goddamn gun.
That's all I
It's a
need.
great noise.
Yeah.
This interview on Glixel is actually really interesting though because like they talked to the creative director who cites Firewatch and Gone Home as big influences on this game.
Sure. I
We
mean,
don't
like,
shoot- you
from
don't
a,
shoot
from a
anyone.
campaign perspective, like
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
Like if there's storytelling to be done,
Like
tell
that,
the story.
That immediately made me a little more interested in this game.
And whatever.
He
I
mentioned Virginia as another influence. Like I was like, all right, okay.
yeah.
You guys are trying to stretch your legs narratively a little
And
bit.
I-
I will show up and see what you've got.
I think that like the campaign can be interesting regardless of setting, right? Because that's the stuff that's not like balanced for multiplayer and doesn't have the years of legacy of like they can do whatever they want with the campaign. I think, and still have it be good. I think the all bets are off with that stuff, with what they've done over the last few years.
I mean, how well they do it remains to be seen.
Oh, yeah.
But they at
Definitely.
least sound like they're trying to. I mean, like
They've got a lot of room. They can change whatever they want there and not like anger a ton of people.
Yeah.
I think like the multiplayers where like they're that's when people got angry about Infinite Warfare, it was because they didn't want to shoot that stuff in multiplayer. They didn't want to shoot fancy laser guns and all this other stuff. So that's the stuff that whatever. I want to see how they do it because I look at it and think like the World War II setting doesn't initially sound like it's super exciting to me, but also like when I look at the lack of excitement around the last handful of Call of Duty games, like clearly they need to do something.
There's some quotes about multiplayer in this interview.
Yeah.
First up is the idea of divisions. This is them speaking.
Yeah.
You enlist with a division, and it's going to be behind what's fundamentally a new way to approach create a class. Whatever that means. They didn't go into detail.
So they've had well, I don't know. It's hard to know. It's hard to infer too much from that. But they did have in Infinite Warfare. You chose a faction.
Did that determine anything?
No.
Besides,
well,
like logo.
It was logo and.
So like different divisions have different weapons.
Well,
available.
You would have different.
Something?
You would have different exosuits that would then have access to different abilities and stuff like that. That weren't necessarily part of the division. The like faction selection thing, I guess. Anyway, they've had things that are above the create a class that kind of determine like, okay, if you're going to be the robot, then your ability is going to be this.
Right.
If you're going to be the dude, your abilities are going to be this. And so they've had that stuff kind of sit above the create a class before.
Yeah.
And I wonder if this will just be a kind of different way to dress that up, or
maybe
if it's something larger.
Maybe. I mean, right after the division stuff, he says, then we have this new mode we'll be talking about at E3 called War, which is totally new for Call of Duty. I think War is an amazing name for a multiplayer
it's not.
mode.
It's not new for Call of Duty. That's what 100% what Call of Duty is. It's War.
No,
But,
this one it's a card game, a lot like Hearthstone, except you're gonna put down a card. If you put down a 7 and the other guy puts down an 8,
Who wins?
the 8 wins.
What?
Yeah. They've had a mode called Crown War before.
So he says this is a...
Actually, fuck, man, I want to say that they've literally had a fucking mode called War before.
Maybe.
But
he says it's a true Axis versus Allies narrative-driven multiplayer mode. And then
I hope the Allies win.
in the next paragraph,
We'll see.
I'm trying to find his description of it. Imagine, for example, the campaign's invasion of Normandy that we've shown. It's very clear what needs to happen. The Allies have to take the beach, they have to destroy the pillboxes, and they have to move inland. The Axis, on the other hand, have to defend the beach, and if they get overrun, they have to pull back and move inland. So the idea is that you'll be able to see a battle from two different perspectives. It's asymmetrical, linear, and objective-based.
that just sounds like Battlefield.
So yeah, it kind of does sound like Battlefield or like any number of other sort of like stage-based multiplayer modes in the past where you're like taking an objective and then moving on. Yeah, kind of.
I mean, like, the idea of two separate sides trying to do two different things. I'm
trying to think which games. This reminds me more of like, didn't like Return to Castle Wolfenstein have that though? Yeah. Of like it was more map specific, or like even UT used to have the assault stuff, right? Where it was more map specific objectives. You know, like Overwatch or Battlefield, like the objectives are generic across all maps, right? Yeah. Where this is like, but you're on the Normandy map, so here are the 3 things that you do that you only do on this map.
And if you complete A, then you move on to B, and that's a slightly different thing.
That kind of sounds like what.
Whereas in Battlefield, it is
it's
blow up
points.
this box.
It's just points. It's just take points.
Or well, yeah, but
I mean, like even Overwatch has like take the point, then escort the cart, then fight. Like
Yeah.
That sounds like what they're talking about. To
I
me,
wonder.
but
Yeah,
we'll see.
And I think there's plenty of room to move in modes and stuff like that. We'll see.
Yeah.
I really liked Sledgehammer's last game. To me, it's one of the best Call of Duty games.
Yes,
I think
in a while,
and yeah, definitely in modern era. And so I'm curious to see what they do next. It seems like that they've been working on this for a while. There's some other interviews with Eric Hirschberg out there that kind of confirmed that like management came to them and said it's time.
Interesting.
It's time for World War II.
Interesting. Like
so,
against their wishes, or
no? Well, I don't know. Like they've definitely, it was like, and as soon as we said that got their wheels turning and everyone was on board. Like it doesn't necessarily say like they wanted to do fucking Kevin Spacey.
Well, like where the hell?
But a giant robot, like, Kevin Spacey.
I know we've said this over and over, but like where the hell do you go after Infinite Warfare? It's like Advanced
Infinity
Warfare
keeps going.
Well, I know, but Advanced Warfare was already like several decades from now, and then Infinite is like it is centuries. Right?
Okay, here's what you do:
space exploration. Yeah. Like there's not really anywhere else to go in the future.
That's why you go to the past, but you keep one of the future soldiers, John Soap.
That was John Soap. That's his name.
He goes back in time and he's
Johnny
got
Soap,
all his modern military stuff, and he actually has to teach the allies how to fight because he knows that they won, but they're not going to win without his, and so it creates the feedback loop.
Yes.
And then you've got your, M80, and everyone's got their M1s.
And then a horse kicks you to death or something.
You get cholera.
It's Call of Duty Darkest of Days.
There's a lot of orbs.
Yeah. Tons of orbs.
I
City.
am fairly
By
curious.
orb, do you mean the Quake 3 character orb with a running eyeball that also somehow teleported back to World War II?
Yes.
Dude.
Okay.
If Orb had made it back to 39, that war would have been over before it started.
That's right.
That eyeball don't stop for nothing. What they're saying is tentatively kind of interesting. Like,
Yeah,
for
definitely.
a World War II game, it seems like they're thinking about
And I
trying to
think
do something different.
And I think they need to make dramatic changes to the formula. But it's not enough to just go back to World War II and make the same game.
Yeah.
I don't think that would necessarily do what I mean.
No,
like
and
people are
they've learned a
saying they
lot of-
want to pull back from the future stuff, and that it's gone too far, and they want to see a World War II game again. So they're giving them that. But I think if they just did that, I don't think it would matter.
Yeah.
enough.
What was the Medal of Honor that opened with the Normandy stuff? Was
All
it
of them. I don't know.
Allied? No,
Allied
it was a
Assault.
specific one. I think it was Allied Assault. Like
Assault.
if they just went and made Allied Assault again with modern graphics, like no, thank you.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Not
I mean,
into that.
But
And I hope that's not what they're
but
doing.
that's still just a campaign, And like I said, there's other pieces to this, and that's why like I'm tentatively excited about what they're saying, or at least excited is the wrong word. I think that they are doing what they need to do, and there's a potential there for that to be really cool.
Sure.
To then also say, oh yeah, and we're doing Nazis, like or Nazi zombies or whatever. Like at some point, that's just this acknowledgement of just like this is still going to be Call of Duty, and I guess that's a bummer.
Those
at some
modes
point.
are broken out though. Like
Yeah,
one has no bearing on. The others.
But at the same time, I would rather see all of the resources that would go into making another dumb fucking zombie mode
Oh, dude, they're gonna make a zombie
and
mode.
put it into something else.
Come on,
Yeah, no, people like it.
people like zombies.
People like it. They're wrong. They like it. That's fine.
Yes.
That was a laugh.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do you have strong feelings on zombies?
No, Jeff is right about it being bad.
Okay.
That was a laugh.
I don't think I played it since the first one.
Hold down this button and make the boards fly to the
Yeah.
window so the zombies can't get through. Like fucking.
World at War, was that the
That was
first
the first
zombies
one.
mode?
Yeah. But in World at War, it was like post credits.
Right.
And then once that kind of
Might be the
unlocked
last
the
one I
ability
played.
to play it,
Yeah.
and then it kind of became its own mode next time around.
Man, what if Spec Ops had gotten as popular
No
as zombies?
shit, man. So they
Fuck.
did say that they're doing like a separate co-op
Yeah.
campaign
Oh, it's
thing
separate?
or something.
Huh.
That was what some of the bullet points made it sound like, that it would be
Yeah.
separate from the main campaign, a co-op focused thing.
Yeah.
So that co-op Call of Duty I think can work really well.
Yeah.
And sure, let's do it.
That sounds promising.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
We'll see at E3.
Yeah.
Darksiders 3
Yeah.
leaked last night and now has been formally announced.
Yeah.
Less than a week ago, someone confidently said the phrase Darksiders 3 to me.
Yeah,
Confidently said it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Like
and now here we are.
they knew about it. And then immediately here it got leaked. I guess it was close.
The really crazy thing about this is how quickly people and whatever, this is why they did it, but I definitely saw a lot of people this morning going, THQ announced
Yeah,
Darksiders
yeah.
3.
We are
THQ Nordic.
That's the
no,
thing,
no,
is
they're
because
saying
Nordic
THQ.
Games renamed themselves to THQ Nordic.
I had that same thought this morning. We have already entered the Infogrames to Atari territory.
Wow.
And now
yeah.
people are just referring to it as THQ, and there are plenty of people that probably think it's the exact same company.
Like,
and
it's-
it's fully not.
They're publishing. Who's developing though?
So it's the
is it
name of the
Gunfire?
developer is Gunfire,
Yeah.
which is basically
Yeah.
founded by the people from Vigil who made the first game.
Okay.
Okay.
Both games, right?
Both.
Same people made
Yeah.
both,
All right.
right?
Uh,
More or less.
yes. And Gunfire, so what there was I was trying to
Have
think
they
of this
done anything
morning,
else?
like the lineage. So Gunfire did those Oculus Rift launch games, Chronos.
Right.
And
Okay.
there was another
so
one.
it's those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Oh wow, they've done. Darksiders 3 is already on the Gunfire Games site.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a handful of small games, like 4 other small games.
Okay.
They also did that Darksiders 2 remake,
Right.
like
Yeah,
re-release.
they did
Yeah.
that. So
They've been deep in it for a while,
yeah.
and
so
now they're straight up making a third one.
Darksiders.
awesome.
It's a good fucking game.
Yeah.
Fucking A, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I also liked Darksiders 2, which I know is a less popular
yeah, I
liked
game,
it too.
but yeah.
Why? I've never played it. Why was that game so much
keep
less?
in mind that like Darksiders 1 is the Legend of Zelda.
Yeah,
like
totally. I did play a bunch
They
of
made
that.
a good ass Legend of Zelda game.
Right.
Darksiders 2 has like loot and colored loot and a lot of other stuff going on, and it's a
That
little
doesn't
more
inherently sound bad.
No,
though.
but
That's the thing.
it's also it's not a Legend of Zelda game.
Oh,
like
okay.
it's
So that's
it's
the difference I was
It's a
missing.
more kind of standard open world combat game.
Okay.
Like it's still fun.
Yeah.
And there are still elements of the first game you see in there.
Okay.
Also, Darksiders 1 ended on a hell of a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
No shit.
That they
That
don't
was
make
one of the
good
better
on.
endings
in the-
that has
yeah.
like really lasted with me.
Yeah, like Darksiders 2 is a
like
prequel.
reveal of the rest of the
I think I have bad news for you.
What?
Yeah, this also does not make good on the events of
Yes,
Darksiders
so
1. as I
Darksiders
understand
3
it.
is set at around roughly the same time as Darksiders 2, which also makes it
But
a prequel to the
that doesn't
first
mean
game.
they can't like go
Right.
past it, you know? Because
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So you're playing Fury in this
Alright.
one, which is the third and the fourth of the Four Horsemen.
Okay.
who's left?
Except she's a lady. It was War in the first one, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Death in the second one.
Yeah. So Pestilence.
And now
No,
Fury.
I think
Strife
in-
is the last
I
one.
feel like in 2 you
Strife?
just played as War
I
again.
thought you were definitely not. I'm pretty sure you were Death. Isn't that why
Yeah,
it's
you were
the
Death.
definitive
Death.
edition
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
you're
for that
right.
re-release?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you didn't play as War.
think
Okay,
so,
yeah. All right. Yes.
Which one had all the backtracking problems? I think I feel
Both.
like one of
2
them
in
really
particular,
upset
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that was one of the biggest problems with 2 was there was a lot of backtracking.
Yeah, this story says that Fury is a mage who uses her whip and magic.
Okay.
Those are
So,
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she has a whip.
Yeah,
It's like
whips.
and
It,
I
is,
checked out
is
the-
the whip magic, or is
I
it
don't know.
separate? Is it just like I've got
Ah.
a regular whip, but also
I don't know.
well, you can charge up a regular whip with magic.
yeah, that's true.
You
It
can
could be a
apply
regular
magic
whip
to
that
impute a
has
whip
magic
with
in it
magitude?
once in a while.
some ohms and chakrams.
Yeah, that's right.
I watched the trailer. It's all CG combat.
Oh, was
so,
was
yeah,
the
they didn't show
trailer
any
just CG? Because
gameplay.
Amazon was it Amazon? I think that leaked
Yeah, I think
this?
so.
Yeah, so a couple of screenshots and some concept art made it onto Amazon briefly. It looks. I don't have a good memory of the second one, like I said, but it looks a lot like the first game to me. Those couple screenshots that got out, just art wise. So maybe it's going to be more like that.
It's cool.
I hope-
that, whatever. Like
I don't know.
Nordic bought all these IPs to use them,
Yeah.
so it's cool
Yeah.
to see them finally do something new with them.
That's-
as opposed to like I think they bought this De Blob,
Yeah, De
which
Blob
made
just
its way
came
to
out.
Steam. Like, all right,
The Blob.
that's a way to go, I guess.
The Blob's not.
The Blob's
No,
good.
The
worst
Blob,
game
it's-
ever.
Yeah, fine. No, sure.
The Blob was kind of charming.
Exploit your IP portfolio.
Yeah. Like ultimately, I think that's why it doesn't actually matter if we get to the point, which we probably will, where they drop the Nordic from their name.
Yeah.
Publicly?
I think I said
That-
at the time
yeah.
that this was that is the trajectory of,
Right.
of introduce THQ into the name and
Right.
then just wait a year and rebrand as
But
THQ.
I mean, but the fact that they're actually making good on a lot
Yeah.
of the stuff they bought, like, kind of makes that okay, you know.
When I think about THQ, I think about Neil from PR taking pictures with the Saints Row 40s, pouring them out on the steps at the end of THQ.
Yeah.
There's a-
Yep, that guy knew how to do it,
yeah.
and they got out of games,
That guy knows
further
how to
proving
do it.
that he knew how to do it. Yeah. That is a 2018 game.
That's what it said at
okay.
the
Yes,
end of
yes,
the
that is
trailer, yeah.
2018. That's next year. So
Okay.
Got some time.
probably assume that was going to be a big E3 announcement.
Well, I wonder.
Until
I
it
mean,
got
like
leaked.
IGN ran stuff today.
Oh,
so,
that's
so
right, that's
I-
right.
this
Yeah,
is probably
it's actually-
all,
you're right.
It's
I
probably
think it
just
sounds like-
Amazon accidentally posted it hours early and not months.
Yeah,
early.
it sounds like maybe that's the case. 3 Fields, the makers of Dangerous Golf,
Yeah.
have
And
announced
that
a new game.
VR shooting game. It's whose name I forget, but that's fine. They put out a second game.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a shooting gallery.
Yeah.
Amongst
Uh-huh.
a crowded field of shooting galleries
Yes.
in VR.
There are full 3 fields of shooting gallery.
Yeah, totally.
Go on.
They announced a game called Danger Zone, which is out this month, and it's Burnout 3 Crash Mode.
Yeah.
Like they literally name drop Crash Mode. I'm trying to find the quote.
They have Smash Breakers in the game instead of Crash Breakers.
Fiona
Like, they're-
Sperry literally mentions Crash Mode and Burnout 3 Takedown in this press release.
Yeah.
So like they're not beating around the bush.
I mean, it's the thing that people wanted them to make. It's
Yeah.
the thing that that was missing from Burnout Paradise. You know, the Crash stuff in Paradise was a very different thing.
Yeah.
It was not based on these crash junctions and all this sort of stuff. And there's been an outcry for that style of game for a while.
She straight up describes it as a car crashing arcade style puzzle game. So
Yeah.
like it is that.
Great.
It's not a racing game. It is a puzzle game about crashing cars.
Is it? I didn't look at any of the art, but it is like behind the back driving, like because they did
think
Burnout
so.
Crash as a
Yeah,
top-down
it's not that.
iOS game,
It's
and
not
that was not great.
Yeah.
Neat idea.
The footage, not from what I've seen. I think it's
Okay.
I think it's what you're looking for.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
It's been long enough. I'm ready to. Start crashing
me too.
I
Like-
kind of want the full racing experience as well. Like the crash mode was always a side mode for me.
Yeah, but that is
not
a
the
way
main event.
that is a thing.
So-
That's a way bigger scope. You know,
Totally.
who knows
Yeah,
what size
they're
team they
a
still.
small studio.
This game is $13, which
Yeah.
A weird price, but B probably gives you a pretty good expectation of like how big it is. you
Yeah,
know? Like
this is the thing.
it's
that
a small focused thing
that
from the
they've
sound
been
of it.
building up to.
Yeah.
If you looked at Dangerous Golf, it had problems. It
Yeah, that
has
thing had a rocky
problems,
launch.
and
for sure.
well, I think they ironed out a lot of the tech stuff, but just the design of it, just the aiming the
Yeah.
golf ball was not the thing.
The camera was weird. Like,
Yeah, you had to eventually start thinking about the golf ball as a car for the game to kind of make sense, which is
All right.
weird. But if you look at that seems to pave the way for this in the sense of
Yeah.
like, oh, like they did a lot with physics and blew up a lot of shit and broke a lot of stuff. Like they have an engine now. They were on Unreal, I believe.
Yeah, this is also Unreal 4.
That I think can execute a crash mode, like a Burnout style crash mode thing, pretty fucking well.
Yeah.
So if they design this well, I think this will hopefully be what people are looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also props to them for second year running, just like announcing a game that's about to come out.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of cool.
I'm way into this.
It's kind of cool.
It's like, hey, it'll be out in a couple weeks.
We'll see. I hope they pull it off.
Yeah.
Like golf was a bummer. They brought it by and like looking at golf, it was like this seems cool. This seems really cool. And then I played a little bit of it at the end of the video we recorded, and I was like, well, there's probably something I'm not getting. But hey, this is my first time touching it, so whatever. I'll try it when it comes out. And I tried it when it came out. I was like, I just never got it. Like, it never clicked. Like it just was too rough around the edges. Like too weird. So this, hopefully they've learned a lot from that experience, and hopefully this comes out better.
Yes. Lastly, are you ready for this? Atlas has relaxed the streaming restrictions on Persona 5. Who's excited to hear that you can now stream the game up to November the 9th?
Instead
That's
of July,
pretty,
whatever.
That's pretty far.
Is that far?
Like
Okay.
that is
That seems right before the last.
It's a pretty pivotal.
Is that
It is.
okay.
It was right around.
Previously, it was July 7th in game,
Because like I'm in
which I gather was pretty early on.
late September, and I think I have maybe 3 or 4 more dungeons.
Okay, so that is pretty deep in.
Yeah.
Still not the whole game though. They're
No.
still sticking to their guns and saying,
And-
if
and
you stream
you
the
still-
ending to this, we're still going to come after
Which
you.
I wonder if they have come after everyone, because there's been plenty of video of that
Yeah,
game on the
full
internet. and
playthroughs
all
on
this
YouTube
other stuff.
and
I think it's
stuff.
just a matter of
People just
like,
said, fuck it.
what can Atlas Japan find, and like
And
how
how
much
long
time
does
are
it
they
take?
devoting to?
There's only so many
yeah.
hours in the day.
Right. So the whole thing is just stupid, and then you still can't use the share button on the PS4
Yeah.
to do any of that stuff.
So
It's
many
just-
bad quality pictures I've had to take on my phone of just good things in that game.
It's
Yeah.
unfortunate. There was a line in here. We also want to apologize to those of you who saw the previous guidelines blog post as threatening, which is kind of funny. We want to be transparent about what we do, and the reason we released the guidelines was to give streamers the right information up front. It was never our intention to threaten people with copyright strikes, but we clearly chose the wrong tone for how to communicate this.
Clearly.
Yeah. So you can stream more of Persona 5, but still not all of it, except maybe just do it. Who cares? Think they'll ever turn on the
Maybe
share
by the
stuff?
time start streaming now, and by the time you reach November, maybe the
Maybe they'll
restrictions
have
will
pushed
be
it.
lifted.
Yeah. You think they'll ever enable the share stuff?
I wonder. I don't know. That's hard to say. I wonder
We're
if they
gonna have to steal their hearts to make them.
Yeah. But like this game's been out in Japan for a long time, and like if anyone wanted to see that whole game, they could have seen it before it was out in the U.S. Like,
Yeah, that's true. It was
it's
out
just
for like
crazy.
several months.
Yeah. I don't know. This. Yeah.
I'll say this: I haven't been spoiled on it.
System works.
Yeah. I think maybe that speaks more to the way people treat that game.
Yeah.
In particular, the way people have treated that game and the run up to its release. Like it's been that way. I wonder if there's any one big thing to spoil. Like if there's a one sentence
I mean,
spoiler
just like
for that game.
identities of who the real villains are
Yeah,
is
I
probably
guess,
the
yeah.
only thing you
Did
can
Persona
really
4 have
spoil.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yes, there was a turn for a character that like you would rather not know
Okay.
if you could help
And
it.
then it got weirder.
Yeah, yes, and then it got way weirder, in an amazing way. But whatever. It, like knowing that going in, I don't think would have reduced
No.
my enjoyment of that game.
All right, that's it for the news. You guys want to read some emails? Do you want to read some
What's that
emails?
sound?
Do you
I want to hear some emails.
Yeah! Scream if you want to read some email. Yeah.
There it is. That's
Yeah. Oh no.
that's the email excitement I was looking for.
Yeah.
High energy.
Bombcast at
That's what they call
giantbomb.com.
it. Knock this table over.
Yep. Ryan from New Hampshire.
We're all getting naked in here.
Do you guys have any thoughts on season 2 of Hitman? IO Interactive seems to have been pretty quiet about it since they confirmed that it was in the works back in October. Do you think we will see it at E3? And do you think the buzz around the game will bounce back pretty quickly when the news does drop?
They've still been doing elusive targets, right?
Yeah, but I think
Not that that's like the.
he's kind of totally right that I feel like the buzz around Hitman is sort of not.
I mean, yeah, they're done putting
it's
out
not
like
on the
full
table.
bore new content.
Well, but
Yeah,
more to the
sure.
point, like I kind of am not thinking about it very
Yeah.
often
Right.
Yeah.
these days. Like I have
Who has
missed
the time, man?
I've missed, yeah, totally. Like it was kind
More
of
like
all I was
Mist
thinking
Man.
about it for a long time.
Yeah.
Like I've missed the last several elusive targets because I didn't notice them.
Right. Yeah. But
Like,
that's
That's why they're elusive.
like
yeah.
obviously they're
Extremely
doing their job, but like yeah, I mean obviously any game like that is going to have kind of a sort of a fall off.
I think that if they just like kept new content rolling out constantly, at some point, people would reach a fatigue point with it. And
Yeah, maybe so.
I think when they get back around to making announcements and stuff like that, there will be a certain amount of hunger for that again.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Also,
so-
I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of pre-production that goes into like
yeah, right. Yeah.
getting a new series off the ground. It's not like they can just start whipping out new maps immediately.
Yeah, especially if they want to make larger changes to it, or
Yeah.
like if it's just new maps, and then they've got a pipeline for that, I'm
Yeah.
sure. But if it's hey, what else can we do?
Quite frankly, I would be totally happy with just
Oh,
another
yeah,
season's
yeah,
worth of
that's-
maps
yeah.
if that's
And
all they change. But
maybe that ends up being it. But
at the same time, like they made smart changes to that thing, like big and small, like throughout that season. Right up to the end, they were just changing, like change the sound. Like we added a sound effect when an opportunity updates, and just stuff like that. You know, like just little playability stuff. Like they were paying really close attention to what worked and what didn't.
Where in the world, if anywhere, you could choose anywhere in the world,
Oh,
would you
man.
want the Hitman to go?
We've gotten.
I
this
feel like
con-
every time we answer this question, someone says they did that in this other Hitman game.
yeah, that happens very frequently.
But also, like that's
Okay, check this out.
But this is a better
Agent
Hitman.
47
Yes,
Mhm.
47.
goes back in time
okay.
to where?
World War
World
II.
War II. Are there zombies?
Beaches of Normandy.
Maybe the zombies on the beaches of Normandy.
Maybe they can add a mode called War and
Okay.
have Agent 47 in there, meet up with John So,
Okay.
and fight off Eyeball Man, whose name I forgot.
Orb with two B's.
Orb with
yes.
two B's.
Yeah.
Is each
he
little
have
bee
to-
an eyeball?
The opportunity is to poke out the eye of Orb with a big spike.
Ugh.
It reveals itself, and then you do the deed, and then escape in a jeep.
Yeah, it sounds like a good season 2 of Hitman.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go. That's the full season.
I'd be down with that.
What if season 3 of Hitman is he just gets sucked up into Quake 3? He just gets teleported out of a hit and is there.
He has to
You probably wouldn't be that good. in
No,
Quake.
no. If he had to just like full on open combat, he's actually really fucking shitty at that compared to the Quake 3 roster. So
the end of the trilogy is has to assassinate that Quake monk.
yeah,
Guy's got to go down.
He has to
then
dress
from
up
the
as
back.
Fatality.
Yes.
just so he's
Yep.
takes his shirt
Takes
off.
his shirt
Yes. Shirtless. Yep. I could totally.
Yeah, an esports tournament would actually be
Yeah,
a
that's
pretty
not bad.
good Hitman
That's not bad.
location.
Okay, sure.
Just-
The international.
Yeah.
off-brand fake international. Sure.
Yeah, Helmut Kruger.
Uh-huh.
It turns out to be a really good esportsman.
Yep.
He
and
dresses
yep.
up as the mid for OG and
Yep.
just sits
Yeah,
down.
and it turns out he's actually super fucking good at the game.
Well, he has to win, and that
That's
way
right.
when he
has to
gets up
win-
on the main
to
stage.
win
Yeah.
the Dota tournament. That's like the big opportunity before you can get to your target.
Fuck.
I would think they would announce season 2 at E3, right?
Yeah, probably.
Surely they wouldn't wait past that.
I would think. What if?
That's exciting.
Okay, what if there was a whole season of assassinating characters from other Square Enix Eidos properties?
I could probably
Just like
get
waiting
Square
in a
Enix
jungle,
All-Stars?
waiting for Lara Croft to run by, and you're just like, check this out.
Yeah, I could get into that. Probably, sure.
You're on the train in Midgar.
There's something to be said about just the cheesy, fun, like cable cable drama espionage of Hitman. Like it takes itself
You go through the whole
seriously,
like,
but not super seriously.
you go the whole wearing a dress scene in Final Fantasy VII, and at the end have to kill Cloud.
Yeah. I was kind of getting
And then
into
you go snowboarding.
Yeah. I was kind of getting into where Hitman was going by the end of season 1, like unironically.
Yeah.
But also kind of ironically.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of on it's like X-Files level of
They found a good level of like it's a little goofy.
it's slightly cheesy.
but-
It plays it totally straight, but it's also like kind of cheesy. Like it's a good tone.
You got to gear out Sasquatch.
Sure. Yeah.
That guy's hard to find.
What if you kill Pitbull in season 2?
Ooh. He is Mr. Worldwide.
That would be pretty great.
Like make good on the Pitbull stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Oh man.
Ryan also says, P.S. I think you had mentioned this was going to happen, but he says, I regret to inform you that the Pinball Wizard in Pelham, New Hampshire is now officially and permanently closed.
Yeah, so we went there after PAX East,
Mm-hmm.
and there had been rumors that they were going to be closing down, and we went in there, and I think Rich Gallup asked, like, hey, maybe it was Casey, asked if they were going to close down, and they were like, nope.
This PAX East?
Yeah.
Like a month ago?
It was like, no, we're fine.
Wow.
And then now they're closed.
Yikes.
So, yeah, that's sad. That was a cool arcade. They had
Yeah.
some good pinball machines there, some good non-pinball machines there. It was always a fun, like slightly out of the way stop when in the Boston area to make it out to Pelham to where that Superman pizza is.
Whoa.
It's just literally the Superman logo on this place, and they sell pizza and subs and all this other stuff. And
Superman Pizza right next to the Pinball Wizard. Like that's just like that block, that like strip mall was caught in some
Dunkin'
kind of
Donuts 3 doors down from that.
It's like a strip mall caught in some space-time bubble where it's always the 80s forever.
And there was some kind of there's a movie
incredible.
theater that I think serves food and beer there, right
wow.
there too, if I remember right.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, seemed like a good stop.
Yeah.
The fun spot is still that's a longer drive if you want to go to a big old arcade.
Still get to arcades in the New England area.
Yeah, but yeah, the Pinball Wizard was a quality joint. That's too bad.
Was there any historical or like museum aspect to that place, or was it just an arcade?
No, it's an arcade.
All right.
Yeah.
Matt?
I mean, it will forever be remembered as the site where Dan won that poop emoji hat.
Right.
But
so there is some history there.
Yeah, there's definitely. I mean, now it is a historical landmark. They will not be able to open anything else in there.
Yeah. Matt writes in, I just want to say that all of those strains in Wiz Khalifa's weed farm are in fact real.
Yeah.
I live in Colorado, and you can find most of those, if not all, at any local dispensary.
I've unlocked some new strains.
Oh, yeah,
what you got? Do you want to hear about them?
Yeah.
All right, let me load this up here. Let's see. Okay, so we talked about jet fuel and Gorilla Glue. Blueberry cookies.
Okay, yeah.
Lemon bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Purple Urkel.
Sure.
Strawberry cough.
Now you're just making stuff up.
White Widow, which I had heard of.
It's a classic.
Of course. And then also you get like machines instead of strains, like glass tips or a machine that just spits out rolling papers and stuff like that if you want. I don't know. It's a bad fucking game.
Yeah.
It's like as far as incremental games go.
Yeah.
The math is all they made a bad thing. But the art is nice.
You guys keep
it's
posting
a pleasant looking game.
I keep seeing you guys post screenshots of that thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
don't.
No, I won't.
Yeah, it's not worth your time.
Let's see. Rickard writes in from, he doesn't say.
Montana.
He doesn't say, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sega apparently, I'm sorry, the subject line, did you guys ever try out the Sega Super Circuit? Sega apparently built a huge RC car circuit at trade shows and outfitted the cars with cameras. The cars were controlled by players in retrofitted Outrun arcade machines displaying the live feed from the cars.
That's really cool.
That sounds awesome, but no.
The track was apparently available for the public at a Sega arcade in Tokyo as well.
Huh.
Did any of you guys ever see or encounter this?
No.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. He's got
crazy.
He's got a link to the to a YouTube clip of it. That sounds like classic CES, like mid '90s, like CES fodder. Like you never heard of anything like that.
No.
Man, yeah, that sounds super cool. Bummer. I was hoping you.
I mean, if it was an Outrun cabinet, it would have been probably late '80s or something at that point. So that was before I was going.
Sure. Bummer. Shane from Reading, Pennsylvania. Is Fortnite a game? I know this was brought up years ago on the Bombcast, but I just realized that it's still not out. What the hell is going on with that game? Is it ever coming out?
We addressed this. We had Epic come back to us and say, yes, it is a game.
Yeah. This was...
I, at one point, played something called Fortnite prior to an E3.
Yeah. This was, I remember that question came up in the upstairs studio, so this was at least like pushing 2 years ago minimum, if not 3,
and
since we addressed this last.
And maybe now it's not a game anymore. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe it has metamorphosized.
Maybe people are like working away on it right now, or maybe maybe just Paragon's been doing so well that's been taking up a lot of their time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Remember when that was going to be like the first Unreal Engine 4 game?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, let's see what Unreal 4 looks like when Fortnite comes out.
Yeah, I wonder if that thing is ever going to make its way out there in any kind of wider capacity.
Paragon's really trucking along, though. They're like cranking stuff out for that thing constantly.
Every 3 weeks, apparently.
Yeah. Nick in Colorado. What if the next one is just called Call of Duty 5?
Yeah, what if?
That'd be good.
That'd be great. That would be pretty good. That would be audacious.
What if they called it Call of Duty World War II?
What if they called it Call of Duty World War II?
That would be crazy. Who's next year?
Treyarch could be next year.
Okay. If they were going to go for a big, massive reboot, like they would be the ones to do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe that's just Black Ops 4.
Yeah. That's probably what's...
Answer of Duty.
Yeah.
It's finally, the story can be told.
Let's see. Steve from Jacksonville, Florida. My local vape shop is selling McCree-themed vape juice named after the Overwatch character. They sell Stash and Silver Bullet variants. Just wanted to give you guys a boots on the ground report.
There's no pun about High Noon involved?
I would have called it High Noon.
Yeah.
Probably.
What is the Stash business? Does that?
I don't know.
Is it just... Oh, does McCree have something? Does he have a stash?
I don't know.
He doesn't even have a mustache.
He
spells it S-T-A-S-H, so that's not even a mustache.
And what's the other one?
Silver Bullet.
Oh.
That's not like the name of any of his moves.
Maybe
Deadeye is his alt.
So what flavor do you put in McCree vape juice?
Leather.
Whiskey.
Leather and whiskey.
Some like chewing
Strawberry.
tobacco.
Faint
Chaw.
faint whiff of urine, perhaps.
Oh yeah.
Dust.
Maybe it's just a coincidence that it is named McCree, and the flavors aren't. Maybe it doesn't actually have anything to do with Overwatch.
Yeah, he says named after the Overwatch character. I don't know if
Okay.
there's branding.
Might be
Bootleg
branded on
ass.
the bottle. Who knows?
Some
man?
street Overlord style.
Yeah.
McCree Overlord.
Anyway, McCree is like the fourth least likely Overwatch cast member to vape, so that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. What
What's
are
the ranking?
It's Diva
Wait, really?
Diva vapes.
Diva vapes,
Like visibly?
May vapes, but not the weed one, just like a tobacco one.
Yeah.
Okay. Like in the game?
No,
No.
This is just
This is
you're
weird.
just
We are
confident.
trying to
Just
answer this
confident.
question.
Sombra definitely.
We are trying to
vapes.
ship characters
Okay.
with vape rigs.
You're just confident.
I mean,
Yeah,
Reaper.
Like,
he's a vape.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Reaper is a walking vape.
He
mask
does the
is
thing.
actually
He
a
does the
rig.
thing he does with his guns, but when he vapes, he like takes one hit and throws it away and pulls out a new vape and does it again.
Vape. He just shouts vape over and over again.
Cloud chasing all day long.
Yeah. His ult is sub-ohming and then it blows up.
Yeah.
Sorry, we just ruined their next event.
Yeah, I know.
All these
Right.
vape skins.
They work so hard.
Yeah.
Let's see. How about
Hanzo vapes.
Justin from Cincinnati? So I use my Steam Link a ton to solve the play on my nice TV without having my PC in the same room
Hang
problem.
on a sec here. Is the actual answer that probably every Overwatch character
Probably.
vapes?
I don't think Zenyatta vapes.
Hookah.
Oh yeah.
Does that count?
He's got
but
like a little
e-hookah,
floating hookah,
like a
in front of
cyber
him.
hookah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that counts.
He like jacks a USB cord from a hookah into his armpit
Yeah.
and vapes that way. Okay.
Okay, go on.
All right. I'll skip to the end of this email. Are companies still developing and selling Steam boxes? I've seen plenty of devs releasing
right.
Linux builds of their software, but I haven't heard news about the Steam OS platform itself in forever.
Yeah, I think that was a big initiative for Valve that kind of didn't go places. They were having Steam Dev Days and talking about like here's how to deploy on Linux and here's how you can get out on Steam OS and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it panned out for
Doesn't
anybody
seem like it
involved.
really went anywhere.
Yeah.
Can you? I assume you can still go download Steam OS and install it, right?
I assume so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're still updating it or what the deal is, but you know, I mean, it's a flavor of Linux, really, right?
Yeah.
And it's not.
I think so.
You could
Or
just
some
kinda-
Nix.
Speaking of that, Chet left Valve.
Yes, I saw
Chet
that.
Faucitt left Valve.
I
Yeah,
thought about. I didn't want to rope that into this necessarily.
not into this, but you know.
Well,
just
the
in terms
news or
of just,
whatever.
like,
I felt bad enough when we talked about Wolpaw leaving. You know, it's like.
But whatever, man. This sets the stage.
Potentially a personal decision, and I don't necessarily want to
Fair enough.
call a ton of attention to it. But at the same time, I was talking to Will Smith about that right before this, and yes, he immediately said, "What if they left to go just work on Old Man Murray full time?"
Like looking at Patreon numbers and going, you know what? The time is right.
Who knows what the financial aspect of it is?
Yeah,
like,
I don't
What
even
if they
know.
what if they brought back Old Man Murray?
We should talk after this.
Please, universe, just give me this one thing.
Yeah.
That would be pretty awesome.
They're good guys.
Let's see here. So busy fantasizing about Old Man Murray, I couldn't pick another email.
A common problem.
Yeah, it'll happen. I don't know if I should read this guy's name. He didn't ask to be anonymous, but like maybe I'll just play it safe.
Yeah, okay.
Wanted to key you in on how a close relative of mine makes a very good living legally laundering weed money. First off, he always insists that this is totally legal. He has been doing it forever and pays taxes and has yet to go to jail. So I guess I believe him.
It's perfectly
When
legal.
somebody is doing something legal, it's very important to say, what I'm doing right now is legal.
Definitely illegal. Like the guy in the parking lot of the Dr. Dre concert who said he was slanging the chronic legally to me.
Like you mentioned last week, the weed people have serious limits on depositing money. Having tons of cash on hand is also dangerous for obvious reasons.
It's heavy. Fall on you.
My relative, who has a strong... well, he made a typo. I'm not sure what he's trying to say here. My relative, who has a strong like-it of clients in Colorado and the Northwest. I'm not sure what... Try to parse that sentence.
Lichen.
Anyway,
Lichen, yeah.
my relative sells gold to the weed companies. He then brokers a deal to have them sell the gold to another company, not his company. He takes small percentages of both the sale as well as the resale brokering. This ends up being several $1 million.
And it's all perfectly legal.
The weed guys can then deposit their money, and my relative gets pretty wealthy.
Weedforgold.com.
Yeah. Why not Bitcoin?
Sure.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
This is why they made the Bitcoin.
Go all the way with it.
You can't carry around a Bitcoin in an apocalypse.
Fair enough.
Again, this guy did not in any way ask to be made anonymous, but
Let's keep him in.
I'm not
It's
gonna read his
perfectly
name.
legal.
Yeah, obviously.
And that comes in from Tom Cruise in
Yeah.
LA.
Sure. Let's see. Okay, next email. Dear liars, it was brought to my attention that on last week's Bombcast, Matthew Rory called out one Matthew Pasquale on accusations most foul.
Yeah.
Matthew Rory stated that Matthew Pasquale won a game of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, but it only contained 27 people, calling into question Matthew Pasquale's character and achievements. The screenshot Rory was referring to is from a squad game, which is why the number was lower. They were number one team out of 29 teams. For the record, Matthew Pasquale has won a solo PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds game where he came out first in a field of 95 players, earning that chicken dinner. Please see links, tweets for proof. Love PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds winner extraordinaire Matthew Pasquale.
Oh, I was going to ask, who could this
Yeah.
possibly be from?
Yeah.
Concerned citizens.
Yeah.
Wanted to, correct the record.
Tom Cruise, Los Angeles.
Correct the record publicly here.
Yeah.
He is a winner.
I don't know if I go that far.
They should have made like a custom Steam badge or something.
Yeah.
Like something to put on
It's
your
like a little
Steam
chicken.
profile.
Like, I'm not going to throw shade, but, I'm just going to say I'm pretty sure he's like way under my level in weed farm.
Oh,
so
boy.
Ooh.
All right, well,
just,
a new
Yeah, but
arms.
how about his gold that he turns into weed money?
oh, he's probably well ahead of me there. I don't know.
It's like Fort
That's-
Knox over there.
Yes, I actually saw that like minutes after we did last week's podcast. I saw that image and went like, oh, that was a team game. Oh,
Yep.
well.
Rory owned up to it immediately
did.
afterwards
He did.
on Twitter.
Yeah. Next email comes in from Sean, who lists himself as a storyboard artist and designer.
Okay.
So some time ago, a friend told me that they got a job for Sony. I asked what it was they'd be working on, and they simply replied with, it's a sequel. I worked out the hints and figured out it was Knack 2, which they confirmed to be correct. This was well before the game was announced, and I respectfully kept my mouth shut about it. As with all my friends, I congratulated them on the job and hoped that this would be a good opportunity for them. Here is my dilemma. I fucking hated Knack. I thought it was boring in every single capacity, narratively, mechanically, artistically, and Knack dancing during the credits as How You Like Me Now by the Heavy plays was one of the most profoundly bizarre and unintentionally hilarious moments I can think of in recent years.
Congratulations on finishing Knack.
Yeah.
He's really stuck with that game.
Yeah.
He hated.
Oh, this game's garbage. God damn it.
The notion of a sequel is incredibly unappealing to me, but with my friend having worked on it, I feel required to play it. Other friends within my circle have worked in games, and I've made a point to support them by checking out what they've done. Some of us work in TV, and I at least tried to watch an episode or two of each other's shows just to see what we're all up to, but I really don't want to play Knack 2.
I don't know. With feelings that strong about Knack, can you truly afford to not play Knack 2?
What, just to see if they bring you around?
You have to know.
Yeah.
You have to know,
see if they
right?
could potentially heal old wounds.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, sure. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe they did it right this time.
Or maybe it'll make you 10 times as angry, and then you'll feel alive again.
Yeah.
Sounds like a really fucking cool group of friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, these guys work on TV, and these guys
making
work
all
on
this
Sony. Hit me up
And Knack 2.
at Pac Ben Pac.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
Damn it.
What have we done?
Another transitional platform. Yeah, great.
I just want to be friends with them.
Oh, I see.
Okay, sure. Play Knack 2. Just play it.
Yeah, play it. You played through Knack 1.
Yeah.
Play through Knack 2.
How much worse could it be?
Maybe there'll be 2 Knacks dancing to How You Like Me Now
okay.
by the Heavy.
Yeah.
But being played, the song will be played twice, 4 seconds out of sync from each other.
Yeah.
Let's see. Last email. My work in the media industry, this is from Scott, takes me to some interesting places, most recently to Taco Bell's Irvine, California-based corporate offices to attend a symposium on influencer marketing.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Going into this, I had no idea that Dan Reichert's efforts to be the first to wed at Taco Bell in Las Vegas had been successful. So imagine my surprise when his photo popped up in the middle of an extremely polished corporate case study by Taco Bell's PR team.
Yeah.
I kid you not, I burst out with a loud chuckle in front of a room full of industry ad executives, including folks from Disney and Jack in the Box, nearly spitting out my coffee in the process.
Disney and Jack in the Box?
Yeah, man. Taco Bell
They're
brings
both
in,
pretty much on the exact same level.
brings in the heavy hitters.
Actually, I think I prefer Jack in the Box. So,
Just thought you'd like to know that Giant Bomb has yet again reached the boardrooms of corporate America.
congratulations
Yes.
to Giant Bomb.
Yeah, go us. There are photos included.
Well, great. I'm
Yeah.
glad that we can put these photos out there.
Yeah.
I can't
Yep.
wait to be in a Papa John's case study myself.
Yeah.
That's
What's your angle?
The garlic sauce is real good.
Oh yeah. Go on.
That's about it. That's
Okay.
all I got so far.
That's all you got.
all right.
I'll work on my influencer.
Yeah,
stuff.
no,
right.
that's if you want to truly be an influencer, you need to really suck up to these
I mean,
brands.
I'm gonna live stream me
You need-
drinking a dozen
yeah,
of
like
the
you-
cups.
You need to at
the
least
garlic cups.
you need to at least start like a social media campaign and get somebody at the supplier to send you like a 55-gallon drum of it or something like that. Like
and
like,
bathe in it.
when you
Yeah.
reach that level of stupidity, then maybe you can be in a presentation.
Until then,
It's something to aspire to.
Keep eating Papa John's, I guess.
Yep.
ugh.
Yep.
You get the thin crust with barbecue sauce
Okay.
and pineapple.
Okay.
I thought they didn't even have Papa John's here. Where's the closest one?
There's one by me in Oakland.
Okay.
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 Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't seen a Papa John's.
There's like
around
one
here.
in the city by SF State.
Yeah.
Back when I went to college, I'd get a lot.
It's like Chick-fil-A. It's just one of those things you just can't get in this godforsaken city.
Yeah, well.
Over on my side.
Yeah, I know. What is it? The Walnut Creek one?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that
I drive
yeah.
past one every day.
I think that's the closest. Wait, really?
Yeah,
Wait,
there's
where
one-
is-
There's one in Novato.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
must be
shit.
new.
Roland, near the movie that's across from the movie theater.
There were
Okay.
none in the North Bay that I knew of.
Yeah, no, it's right next door to the Moylan's. There's one in Santa Rosa now too.
What?
Yeah.
I gotta go home.
I've been to the Vacaville one once.
Hmm.
Like randomly, we were
I
driving up
think
there
that's
for
the only
a
one I've
wedding.
been to.
Yeah, I just randomly saw it. We
Yeah.
were on the way to a wedding where we were going to be fed well, obviously.
And you
we
were
just
like,
saw a
"Fuck
Chick-fil-A."
this, pull over.
I literally stopped and bought like $20 worth of Chick-fil-A. Just fuck this wedding.
Yeah.
We'll get there when we get
And
there.
then didn't go to the wedding.
Yeah, yeah.
We just came to Chick-fil-A in suits. Fuck you.
It was some fancy Chick-fil-A. All right, bombcast at giantbomb.com. That's the email address. Send in emails.
I will.
All right, thanks.
I always do.
We never take
All those.
Jason's-
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
Someday.
He just
I'm
writes in
gonna get
about
on
his
there.
weird weed laundering business
Yeah,
that he
I know.
runs on the side.
Yeah. Welcome, Ben.
Hey guys, this was a lot of podcasting.
Yeah, it goes. sometimes.
And we use it all.
Yeah, we use
Like,
every,
it's
we use
not-
every part of the podcast.
Not used
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
The stomach, the ears.
I mean, I said a couple of times while I was reviewing resumes and stuff like that I spent a lot of time listening to bad podcasts. And yours may have been
Podburglars.podbean.com.
Yours may have been the worst.
Oh wait, what happens to that podcast now?
We shut it down. It's absolutely this is where it ends.
He's not
It has
allowed.
to
He's not allowed
legally-
to.
I have to edit an episode.
He's not
Yeah,
allowed
no.
to do third-party podcasts anymore, right?
I think
That
of the
Nick
people
and-
on that podcast, he is probably the one that would be able to.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Now that I think about it.
Sure. How's the nerves? Feeling better?
Oh yeah,
3
no
hours.
nerves.
3 hours later, it's like a lifetime.
Just a little hungry. That's it.
Yeah, get some more
Yeah.
chicken fried steak in you. And
That happens.
keep the day going.
Yeah.
So you did the smart thing on a Tuesday: is eat a giant breakfast before you come.
Yeah, I
here,
didn't
because-
know, but
because
like I didn't get hungry till like 20 minutes ago.
lunch is mega late on podcast days, so
Smart move.
get a good
For you
sawmill.
listeners at home, take that into account.
Yep.
We're pretty hungry by the end of this.
Get a bunch of food in you before you go into the podcast mines.
I had a chicken fried steak smothered in gravy,
Good God,
hash browns, 2 slices of sourdough toast with butter and
Wow.
jam, 2 eggs over
oh
easy,
my God,
orange juice, and a tea.
where did you go, was this at home?
Emil's Burgers.
man?
Pretty good. By the Fruitvale Bar
I
Station.
can't eat chicken fried steak. I can't eat steak steak for breakfast, like steak and eggs.
Steak and eggs.
The whole thing. Like
I don't usually, but it was their special, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll try it out.
I mean, I like a chicken fried steak.
Chicken fried
From time
steak,
to time, it's
sausage gravy
I
is
can't-
the best
Yeah.
hangover, and hash browns the best hangover breakfast.
Oh, sure.
I can possibly
Ooh.
think of.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. All right, well,
I miss Waffle House.
I've never been to one.
Oh,
I've never even seen one.
Me
to be
neither.
honest.
Go.
I've never had chicken and waffles.
wow. All right, well, we got a lot of food crimes we need to go address. So
All right.
let's get the hell out of here and go stuff food in our faces. See you next week.
All right.